Oh boy. Okay. Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Smudcast number 353. I'm in love with a church girl, the Fry Fest of Christian films. And if you don't know what day is today, it is Friday, the end of the month for July. It's going to be Maggie Mae Fish, as we always have her. And oh boy, this came out 2 years ago, so maybe she was still doing the whole Christian thing with movies. I don't know, but we did watch one about Kirk Cameron, which was terrifying.
Yeah, the movie itself is an hour and 10 minutes, and it is possibly the most incompetent thing. I think it might be more incompetent than The Room. At least The Room has some measure of ambition.
Which is interesting because the film crew in both The Room and Kirk Cameron Saves Christmas was pretty good. Like, they had nice lighting, good camera angles, like everything was cut relatively well. It's the thing they were actually filming which was just ridiculous. So it's hard to gauge these films or the genre as a whole because this is all we have. I'm sure there's some good ones out there. I just don't know. And it's not really my purview for reading or watching.
Oh, there's no such thing as a good Christian exploitation film, my friend.
I mean, does Daredevil count? Because he's a Christian.
Oh yeah, is that how that works?
I don't know.
But he's not trying to preach to people.
If
you want to,
yeah,
he's pretty preachy.
Well, he's with legal reasons, being good as a sign of being a lawyer, not being good because God says so, or whatever. So, yeah, same ethical message, different format, different content. Obviously, action, adventure, martial arts, that sort of thing. There might be a good, entertaining Christian film. I don't know. I've never really watched them. I can't say, but. Maybe it'll be on some, I don't know, some intrepid Catholic dude going, I want to get into film. I'm also Catholic. I'm going to go do Catholic filmmaking now. And I don't know, he gets lots of millions of bucks from one of those organizations that as evangelical churches throughout America, they got money to kill or money to burn.
Or just watch a Mormon movie. Or just watch Mormon movies. There are some competent ones, like Other Side of Heaven is pretty good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just basically this sweet story about a Mormon missionary who goes to Tonga.
Oh, okay. That sounds fair enough. I was thinking like Highway to Heaven sort of thing. So like just a mini series, which I thought was kind of cute back in the day. Oh, geez. There's very few things we have that is mainstream and Catholic, aside from some medieval murder mysteries, where a priest is the detective.
What about like Passion of the Christ?
That's an actual story of Jesus. So I'm talking like just religious themed stories. Or a heavily influence of religion within the story itself, like the Tudors or the Pope stories. I think there was a miniseries on HBO, or it came over to standard broadcasting. I can't remember what it was called, but there's a few of those. But it talks more about politics and how corrupt and how power hungry everyone within the papacy was, as opposed to telling a story about a nunnery or a certain parish where murders happen all the time, and there's always this priest or a vicar that has to go around and solve murders. So yeah, there's all kinds of fun stories out there, and never really the religion element is always just a side dish. It's an element. It's not a predominant factor. It's for people who like those sorts of people who are in fact Christian. They go, oh, murder mystery plus Catholic plus whatever symbolism. People want to commit suicide or whatever, make it look like a suicide. So you can get some really racy stuff, but it never goes that far because it was never made for an adult audience. It was made for young adults to just becoming adults, and they never go into the details because these are all, I believe, British style or British Golden Age style murder mysteries. So like Midsummer Murders kind of things. So I think what the hell is it? I can't remember the name of it. I did watch it a few of them on was A&E back in the day, or TLC, the Learning Channel. They had a few murder mysteries I've never heard of before. I can't find them.
Somebody in the chat said Avon Gillian has Catholic themes.
Yes, it has religious Judeo-Christian imagery. Angels, of course. There's all these angels coming here to enact the second coming or the second impact. So, there's all kinds of imagery with the crosses and the spears of Longinus and all this other crap. There's Adam, there's Eve, there's all these, there's the Holy Sephiroth, there's all kinds of crap, which makes absolutely no goddamn sense. Because...
And then you have Doom Eternal, the Paradise Lost his Dark Materials of video games.
Well, there's a whole different take on Judeo-Christian imagery.
Does Zack Snyder's films count?
I would honestly no. I would not go that far. There's maybe 2 scenes that you go, okay, he looks sort of angelic, or they're imposing the stained glass window with him. And that's not really symbolic. That's just sort of a sign. It's not a symbol. It's just there's the stained glass of Jesus, and there's
just didn't understand the film then.
Yeah, it's not really imagery. It's a set piece. It's just he's right in front of the freaking windows. Okay.
We are not subtle. We are not subtle.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. So. Not what you do in a story. You want things to be symbolic, not literal. Anyway, here's Great Scott. Smud, get a PureFlix subscription, and you'll find out how bad Christian movies actually are, i.e. God's Not Dead. And it's a huge propaganda machine. Yeah, I'd imagine. If
Oh, yeah, God's
Not Dead.
I would imagine that... anything which is the genre about the thing would be promoting it or being about it. So obviously, any religion, Christianity, Judeo-Christian, whatever, it's going to be about God is great. There's all these miracles happening. There's children discovering the miracle of the Bible or the Torah or whatever. So all kinds of wonderful references to those things you've never heard before in your life, because unless you actually went to school for Bible studies.
So let me summarize God's Not Dead for you. The basic premise is the student has to convince his philosophy teacher and the class that God is not dead, or else he will flunk the class. And the teacher is the most militant, horrible atheist douchebag ever, played by Kevin Sorbo for whatever reason.
Oh my God. Kevin Sorbo as a teacher that doesn't make sense. I don't see that happen.
He's also a philosophy teacher.
Oh. Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Maybe like, I don't know, geography or something, but not philosophy. He doesn't come across as a philosopher at all. Jeez. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, he had a beard in that too, right?
A goatee beard? Oh my God.
Yeah, it makes him look intelligent. Yep. I don't know.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
When I strike my goatee thusly, does it make me look more mature? Yes. Anyway, this video is about 23 minutes long. We should be able to get through it unless more people join. And, there's only a few anecdotes I can reference because I did watch about half of it. It's not her worst take. And some of it's kind of like, oh yeah, I guess that is kind of weird. So, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be another Maggie. Your typical Maggie Mae, just not as intense, which is good. Nowhere
What was
near
the
as
last
bad.
video? It was Rambo, right?
Yeah, nowhere near as crazy as Rambo or
Fight Club.
Fight Club was probably one of the well, not the craziest, just the longest, and just Cats was the nuts. That was just absolutely retarded.
That was that was the worst. Yeah, that was definitely the worst. Was the Cats, because she was like saying that TSL is a filthy Nazi or something like that.
Yeah, she was using the N word and the F word
Whoa.
so many times.
Oh, really? Oh, dang.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we get it. We get it. We get it, honey. It's like the seventh time we just okay, this is too much. Anyway.
Jeez.
Okay. I'm in love with a church girl. 23 minutes. Let's get going.
Oh, yeah? How's that?
Well, you go to a Catholic high school, you hook up with the Catholic girls. They're great. Here's the Mechanist. Thank you for the $1.11. I did write a noir with a Christian base. Fascinating. A guy knowingly sells his soul, and he tries to get it back, but no one believes him, and they think he's crazy while he looks for a way to get out of his deal. Cool stuff. See? Simple, easy stuff, simple plot line. You don't have to go into too much crazy detail of demons and devils and this and that. Just a simple plot line of him trying to do something, get something back that he lost, and all the conflict that happens therein. I think I've read a few short stories like that back in the day, where they just have like an angel or a demon talking to each other and over a coffee or something. So you can do a lot with Christian or any sort of mythological imagery and have fun. It's not that hard. Just do some research, get some characters going, get some human conflict going, and you're great. Anyway, I'm not going to watch that Kevin Sorbo film, but let's watch this video instead.
You coward.
Talked about Fireproof starring Kirk Cameron.
Okay, Lord, no more addictions.
What?
Which is
What did he just shattered a computer screen? What?
No. I think that was edited.
Okay.
Or was it a porn addiction? Is that what he was trying to?
It could have just been information. It could have been anything on the internet. So
Sorry, it was fast. So I thought it was just Maggie injecting something.
I'm gonna control my urges to download information by screaming at God and hitting my computer with a baseball bat.
Yeah, what can you do?
Well, at least he's not hitting people. I mean, that's something.
Downloading porn is information.
Well, you could be addicted to anything online. It doesn't really matter. Like gaming, reading, comics. You pick anything. It could be an addiction. So, yeah.
Going to the bathroom is addiction.
Going to the bathroom is a necessity. I don't know if it's an addiction. I mean, you could just relieve yourself in other parts of the world. But in modern times, we use the bathroom. So, yeah.
Yes.
a 2008 movie that teaches its audience how to hide their money-driven, materialistic motives behind the excuse of, I gotta save this terrible marriage. I'm in Love with a Church Girl, released in 2013, starring Fyre Festival poster boy Ja Rule.
The music was horrible. The service was gloomy.
Doesn't even bother hiding.
Okay, so if you don't know what Fyre Festival was, this happened, 4 years ago? I'm trying to remember. There was this big... the guy, I can't remember his name. Obviously, his name was Fyre, the CEO of Fyre Media. I don't know his name. But he wanted to have this big musical festival that you had to charge between $1,000 and $10,000 a ticket or something like that. And it was like quality food, quality entertainment. It's going to be like really nice accommodations. Everything's going to be top-end stuff because you're paying for a lot of money. And that ended up not happening. So, if you actually go to the Wikipedia of Fyre Festival, you can read about all the things that did not happen and the lawsuits that came afterward. In fact, they just figured out the class action lawsuit this year. People got about, on average, $7,000 back. So, a lot of bad things happened there. So, and you can check it out.
So it was actually Billy McFarland. I think it was actually Billy McFarland.
Right.
Who was the guy in charge.
And the other one was Ja Rule. That's why she brought that up. So, Yeah, it was a joke. It was supposed to be like all these wonderful accommodations, and you end up getting like FEMA tents to stay in. All this luxurious food. It's like, no, you get what were they?
Sandwiches.
Box sandwiches or something. I couldn't remember. It was this crazy stuff that happened. People got pissed off, and anyway, that's what she's referring to.
Justifiably so.
Oh yeah.
Very justifiably so.
Its motives. It's all about money, how great money is, and how you can use evangelical Christianity to deflect attention away from your crimes so that you get to keep all the money you got from doing crimes, all with the cooperation of law enforcement. Really family-friendly stuff. But before we begin, I just want to give a quick shout out to my friend Zora Bikanganga, who recommended this wonderful gem. The plot is fairly simple. Miles is a wealthy career criminal, and the cops are closing in on him.
This is good, right?
Real good.
He meets Vanessa, an evangelical Christian girl played by a former cheetah girl, Adrienne Ballon. And she takes him to church.
Wait a minute, this is an actual movie.
Yes, apparently this is an actual movie. You didn't know the Cheetah Girls existed, or you didn't know that this movie existed?
I didn't know this movie existed.
It is like a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. I can't remember the rating. It's pretty bad. Anyway, here's The Mechanist.
This is a Christian movie. This is amazing.
Oh, Christian movies are ridiculous. Yeah. $1.11. In my comic, I made multiple religions, but I made the main villain a Christian who wishes to save the souls of everyone because his evil plan could kill all living things on the planet. There are moments where the heroes question if he's even their enemy. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do with having groups of organizations or people who believe in something. And it doesn't have to be a religion, but usually if you go that route, you want to have either fantastical gods that do stuff. That would be kind of neat to have a religion that's effective or functional as opposed to just moral or teaching lessons. Or if it is not magical, then to have these lessons mean something historic. So the plague came one day, years and years ago, decades ago, thousands of years ago, whatever, and everyone now knows how to be clean, how to keep themselves clean, how to study microbiology or whatever. And now you've made a religion that could be based off science or at least cleanliness. And then that's your lesson. That's your moral. Always remember to keep clean and don't touch too many things and yada, yada, yada. So there's all wonderful things you can do of a discipline that is an organization that has learned something from a painful past. So it's the same concept with any conflict. There's something which is bad that's happening you have to struggle with. And in this case, it's something in the historical example. Use science, use magic, use a god, whatever you like. Go crazy. So thank you for that wonderful little idea from your comic book. All right. Back to I'm in love with a Catholic girl.
Not the hoosier kind. In the end, all of Miles's criminal associates go to prison, but he escapes prosecution because he converts to evangelical Christianity, and most importantly, he gets to keep his massive fortune that he earned from his former criminal lifestyle.
Stakes on me, baby.
Like I mentioned with
Okay, so
That's hilarious.
yeah, if the cops can't pin you for a crime, they can't take away your assets. So if that's not
kind of weird though. She wants to convict a black guy who didn't do anything wrong.
well, yeah, you have to. If the story is not about that, then you have to actually not concern yourself. Like, yeah, he didn't do anything. Like, we don't know where the money came from. Yes, he's a drug dealer, but what else about it? Like, was that the plot? Was that a subplot? Was that major?
She said it was the end, right?
I haven't watched the film.
So what did he do then?
Yeah,
He didn't do anything. Why do you want him to go to jail?
Yeah, the idea is he's a bad guy and he's reforming himself, but apparently because he's found Jesus, everything's fine. I have no idea.
Yeah, reforming yourself is bad. You have to stay a criminal.
Yeah, we need to know the actual
boy.
plot. That's the point. Like, we need to know, because she's just saying.
Oh yeah.
She's just saying Catholics are bad. You're like, well, Catholics aren't perfect.
Context matters.
Yeah, we need to know what scenario happens in the story for this to be like, this is ridiculous. So
But even then, it's a fictional movie. Why are you trying to spread this to like all people in the Christianity or something? You know, that's the fear I have right now. That she's gonna try to convert this into like realism.
But even
I don't
then,
want it to.
Oh, undoubted.
even then, the ideas of a story of a man reforming himself, I believe, because obviously, if you're a drug dealer and you go to church and you marry a girl or whatever, I don't know what the hell happens in the story, that you're trying to be a better person. So you could say this is a redemption story. So the money he gets is not that pivotal of a plot point. It's just a factor of his background. It's like he could have a bunch of cars or a house or whatever. Like, does he have to give that away for him to be redeemed? I don't know. Does he think so? If so, then sure, he should do that. But I have no idea. I don't know what his sense of redemption is. So.
Well, why tell you when you have a message in mind that you want to spread to people?
Yeah, what a great idea, Maggie, to give us some context of what the hell's going on. No, he's a drug dealer. He's bad. You're like, what did he do? Like, did he hurt anyone?
Did he kill somebody?
Yeah.
Did someone die from drug overdose? What?
Yeah, like what was? Like, I'm not saying dealing drugs is good by any means, but did anyone get hurt?
He was redeemed by the power of the cooch.
Oh yeah, the holy cooch.
Let me look this up because this doesn't sound right. But yeah, we can continue.
All right.
Fireproof. I think there's a temptation to think, oh, this movie is just incompetently written and produced. But like Fireproof, this movie is a parable, and it's trying to teach its audience specific morals and life lessons. That lesson just happens to be rich evangelicals should be immune from prosecution, and literally everyone else, including the cops, should conspire with rich evangelicals to keep them from being prosecuted. From the start, the character Miles is aware that what he's doing is eventually going to get him in trouble. The film opens with a credit sequence over a montage of prison footage, accompanied by voiceover about how Miles has gone through really tough times.
Maybe that's why I had to go.
You know, it's not unheard of for people in prison to find religion. It's really not that impossible. I've listened to a bunch of YouTubers who are reformed mafia people, and they are religious, and they've discovered that religion is that discipline that they needed to focus on their family and to do what's right and all this stuff coming out.
Yeah, it happens all the time, depending on the prison. They even form like group circles, where people come in and they talk about, the Bible or whatever. Bible studies, I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, and this is totally healthy, that this is part of the reformation process when you're in prison. So I would hope, I don't care what religion they find, but if they discover something about themselves, which is like, I need something in my life because I want some meaning in it. And if they find it in religion, that's a good start. That's a great start. Go find whatever helps you out. It doesn't matter if it's a book or the idea of a higher power. I don't, whatever works for you. So I don't, at the same point, I'm like, yeah, you could find science, you could find the law, you could find whatever in your studies, and that would work for you too. So I don't really care what you find, but it makes you a better person if you learn something from it. And in this case, religion is more of an ethical tool for you to develop better as a person, then great. I see nothing wrong with that.
To all this. Maybe that's why things had to happen the way they did. Someone once told me that God sometimes needs to use extreme measures to deal with extreme circumstances. Guess I was one of those extreme circumstances.
This movie is even based on the true story of Gali Molina, who was indicted for drug trafficking in 1996. Molina wrote the screenplay while in prison, inspired by his own experiences, and he appears in a cameo as a rich pastor who drives a Ferrari.
The last time I read the Bible, it said nothing about this.
That's him?
So, even though it foreshadows that Miles should go to prison, even though Molina went to prison in real life, Miles does not, in fact, go to prison. All of his associates do, but he escapes punishment and gets to keep his precious piles of money.
Oh man, I can't tell you how much I miss y'all. Can't imagine how hard it is in there.
While the movie is called I'm in Love with a Church Girl, it has very little to do with love, or church, or the titular girl. Instead, from the very first dialogue scene, it is, again, about money.
All right, now let's get this money.
I'm in it to win it. There's my cash right here.
Do it.
Showing us piles of money.
There's always large amounts of cash around. You know that. You see it. Look.
Even the cops talk in terms of money, whether it's complaining about how expensive a criminal case is becoming.
These are time and expense sheets for the Montego case. And you guys spent way more time and money than I ever authorized.
Or this weird back and forth.
Hold on, sorry. Who is that guy? He looks like the guy from Cobra Kai.
Really? Well, okay. This is what I don't understand, because when you do something in the field, you have to actually write a request order to do stuff. You can't. There's no like float. There's no box of money just sitting in the corner. You have to actually ask for permission, get it approved, and then you get your ordinance, whatever it is, whether it's tools or time, or because you're on a case. There's a case and it has a certain deadline, right? So someone has to authorize stuff. You cannot just write checks and have the police department sign them. It's not how it works. Now, maybe it's different in different jurisdictions. I have no idea where this takes place. But police chiefs are very, everyone gets a salary. Everyone has basic equipment. But staking out and doing like field work, that's like an honest day's work. Unless you're undercover for like months or something. I don't know. But even then, you're not requesting tanks. You're not requesting like Humvees and all this equipment. So kind of curious where they're going.
Supposedly this movie was in California. So
oh yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be different. I have no idea how California works. Anyway, here's Francis Ford Coppola. We need a Christian film starring Steven Seagal. Okay.
Yeah. And then you could fight the dude from Cobra Kai.
I don't think it's a good idea. Honestly, that's not going to work. Steven Seagal is, I don't know, too Asian. I think maybe a Buddhist one. I don't know. I think he's already done that.
What the hell is this? Oh, Kyle Reese. That's one.
What from?
Sorry, my bad.
Terminator.
Sorry, I'm thinking out loud.
Okay.
My bad.
Anyway,
Michael Biehn? Yeah, I'd love to see Michael Biehn in something.
Anyway, so this depiction of the cops, probably not the most realistic scene in the movie.
Forth, where the cops just marvel at how rich Miles is.
This guy lives in a house that's worth more than all of our houses put together.
One of his dozen cars is worth more than all of our cars combined.
He wears what we make in a year on his wrist.
There's even an entire scene at Vanessa's job where she sells products covered in Christian branding.
I love the spot. I mean, what kind of store is this?
Thank you. We are a faith-based product store.
So, I guess there's a pretty big market for this church stuff, huh?
That's right.
Miles immediately mentions the...
Why does she emphasize the
Well, I don't know why...
Did you see that?
I don't know why selling T-shirts or whatever with like religious symbols are a big deal. It's like, yeah, I've seen those all the time. Like, who cares?
It happens for like
They
virtually
are all
everything.
over the place. It's basically what the Temple Square and Nauvoo economies are based on. Like, Nauvoo's economy is based on tourism. Tourism from LDS families who want to go over there and visit those various church historical sites.
Yeah, it's pretty standard stuff wherever you go. If it is a historical, I don't know, statue or church or whatever, there's going to be a shop around to sell stuff, paraphernalia. I've been to this place. Here's a T-shirt, whatever. So, whoop-de-doo. Okay.
pretty big market for these products immediately makes it about money. Commodify.
Yeah, because that's the mindset he's in. Maybe he's been a drug dealer most of his adult life, and he's like, this is where you live, the girl I'm interested in. I'm gonna have a conversation with her about something we both can relate to. Thanks, Maggie. It's great.
Our financials and also like He's interested in what she does for work. That seems like pretty standard guy who's interested in girl behavior.
Yeah.
Your faith. Less like a scene from a movie and more like a promotional video encouraging you to open up your own faith-based product franchise.
No. What? Maggie, how did you get
How
did you get
How
to
do you
that?
get this?
What?
She's Maggie. Of course she'll get to it.
So-
I will admit, like, Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas is a Christmas movie about money and is, like, the most pro-capitalism Christmas movie ever made. But I don't think that proves that this is in any way, shape, or form just about money or
Well-
opening up a faith-based Christian store.
Maybe when you think about it, because the only people watching these sorts of films are already Catholic or whatever. So I don't think it would encourage them to make up their own Etsy store and start making T-shirts
No.
with
Well,
imagery.
we're talking about a business, so
Yeah.
why would anybody want to go through? Like, it's not like it's easy.
No, it's not. It's not easy. It's hard to do anything in business. So I don't know who she's like. Can you seriously see yourself watching a movie and going, you know what? I want to open a dealership for Volkswagen. You're like, what?
Yeah, because I watched this movie where they wash cars and they talk about
Yeah,
how much money they make with cars.
I watched, I don't know, Fast and Furious, whatever. And they had exotic cars. And I want to open up a dealership.
Family,
Yeah, you watched Fast and the Furious 9 and decided to open up a dealership.
Family.
Yeah.
and you ignore
Not
your
really,
family to
Fast
do
and
that.
Furious.
That's funny, yeah. That's the irony.
Well, I wish I were joking that there's 9 Fast and the Furious movies now, but there are. The 9th one just
There
barely came
are,
out.
yes.
I've never
Isn't there
seen.
technically 10? There's Hobbs and Shaw,
Like,
the spin-off.
like even if you watch like Wall Street or any of those other films about money or business, I don't think it encourages people to go out and start a business. I really don't. It's just entertainment. It's just fun. It's
I know she's trying to say it's propaganda, and I'm not really seeing the propaganda, especially when trying to read the story for this. It just sounds like this is a guy who got out of jail and he reforms himself.
Yeah, like no one
it's
watches
like the
PewDiePie
story.
and goes, "Man, I wish I could do that on YouTube. I'm going to start a YouTube channel and work my ass off and be entertaining and be likable." And it's like, no.
Meanwhile, I'm just like, good fucking luck.
What a bizarre.
Usually it's like it's a minor number maybe, but
yeah, but this is such a
I don't
bizarre
know.
take to say this about.
Well, that's because Maggie, she just hates capitalism. She hates Christianity. We
Yeah,
get it.
yeah. I think it's closer to the religious element. She just does not like religious people in general because she thinks they're nuts, which is ironic.
Yeah, you want them all shot, you want them canceled, whatever.
But that's
We
not
get it,
all of
Maggie.
us, though. I'm Christian, and I can say this. That's not all of us.
Oh no, but
This is definitely
No,
this
I
is
don't
the
think so,
fringe
no.
insane. The people who are making these movies are the fringe insane people. But at least like with Mormon films, they're like actually like wholesome, and they don't portray like people like of other faiths as awful. Like God's Not Dead portrays atheists.
oh, okay.
That's awful.
Like in Mobsters and Mormons, the mobster Sicilian mafia family that goes to Utah for witness protection is still Irish Catholic by the end of the movie.
But I just have to question, like, do Christian people watch these movies?
They have to.
It doesn't seem like it.
Well,
They do, yes. I can tell you right now, they do.
yeah.
They have to.
There are
Well, not have to, they just do it because
even in Ontario, we have a variety of free local cable stations like Vision TV and Faith TV, which anyone can get for basic cable, and it's all religion. It's like yoga, it's morning mass, it's whatever. So it's not just one. It's not just one. Like, there's even broadcasts from Italy, from the Vatican. If you want to get it on your radio, there's a station you can get, or a special radio you can get. So people like that.
And then there's the 700 Club.
Yeah, the 700 Club. There's all kinds of like TV stations like that too. That's been going on for decades. So
Yes.
you have options if you want to worship, so that's totally fine. Anyway, Great Scott, thanks for the $2. Oh God, Christian paraphernalia store located in what looks like a mall, probably located right next to Hot Topic and Spencer's. I've never seen one, honestly. I've never seen a religious store, so.
Come to Utah, they're all over the place.
Oh, yeah? Okay, cool.
Sell Book of Mormon characters on t-shirts and lots of artwork.
Most of the reason why, like, some of the stores over here where I'm at, it's like, yeah, they're religious stores, but they don't shove it in your fucking face.
Yeah. Here's Louis Seems Gay. Thank you, sir. If Maggie's trying to imply that these sort of Christian movies are half propaganda, half money laundering schemes, she may have a point. I agree. But we know our girl, she'll say that it's about being gay and also socialism good. I don't even know what she's getting angry at here, because she's inventing a problem like people are going to be influenced to start up their own stores, which is bonkers.
Look, if this is propaganda, like, it's not really doing its job now, is it?
No. Well, that kind of propaganda, like, be an entrepreneur for the Lord. It's like, no, no one's doing that.
I don't know. The only thing I can get from the plot synopsis is that it's just a guy who gets out of jail. He has trouble trying to close his criminal life down, and then, I don't know, they get 3 years sped up, and then now he's a pastor.
I think so.
That's it. That's the story. I don't know.
Also, pastors for evangelical Protestant churches make a lot of money.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, that in itself is questionable, I guess. But
all right.
We have like a bunch of t-shirts and, books and CDs that are Christ-like themed.
But more specifically than just money, the film is concerned with money that's been made from doing crimes. And it shows how important it is to create a narrative of plausible deniability in the eyes of the law. Miles warns his associates.
Y'all really need to tighten up your money game, man. Stop playing around. Start thinking about your future, feel me?
He also mentions that he's really careful and discreet with his criminal behavior.
Look, I spend half my time just looking at all the angles, covering all my tracks, so I ain't got no problems with the IRS or nobody else.
Odd that Ja Rule wasn't this cautious when he got involved with the Fyre Festival.
The music was horrible, the service was gloomy.
But that's besides the point. Miles never learns any more lessons in the movie. He doesn't confront the fact that his past criminal actions were wrong. He never faces any legal or material consequences for his actions.
Wait. Hold on. He went to jail, right?
Well, not him. His friends did. His associates.
Wait, hold on.
He was
his friends went to jail?
He was smarter than they were, I guess.
Yeah, so he's the I don't know if he's the kingpin, but he's the guy who works with these other guys, and they're all drug dealers or whatever. They get caught. He doesn't, because he's smart.
Right? Okay. So it's basically a cartel.
Something like that. And he tells her that he's a drug dealer, but he wants to change his life because he's realizing that he's smart about living this life, but he can't keep doing this. So he has to then reform himself. Now that means he's going to be transferring his behavior in some capacity. And I think Maggie wants him to go to jail or something because whatever reason, I don't know. But
I really wish she would provide the context for it. Like, again,
like racist
his behavior.
Isn't that racist to want the black man in prison?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is. Well, what did he do? Provide the evidence, Maggie. Like, tell me, did his business affect somebody? Did it kill somebody? What did he kill somebody? What did he do?
Right.
Aside from he deals drugs. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's bad.
There's plenty of stories where we are already in the lifestyle of someone like an assassin or a drug dealer or anyone doing black market stuff. And it's like, okay, maybe his past is catching up with him, but that might not be the backstory. That might not be the plot. It's just to get him where he is today so we can tell the story. We don't need to know all that stuff if it's not relevant. And this is pretty much a story about a guy just wanting to be a better person. But if the past examples weren't violent or didn't hurt him, then it doesn't matter. Because it's like, okay, he just wants to be a better person. He finds it by meeting a girl. She teaches him about religion. And that's it. That's the story. I mean, it's not very complicated. It's not very interesting, I guess. But it can be. And of course, I haven't seen it. I can't argue. But nothing is wrong with this premise, and nothing is wrong with having him seek redemption and not having to go to jail or what. I don't know. Like, what does she want him to do? Give away all his... Sorry?
No, it's like the premise itself is like in some stories the fact that something like that happens to other people related close to the main character rather than happening to the main character itself. A lot of stories use that to portray that it's worse that it didn't happen to them, so that they can have more of a psychological redemption rather than going through the consequences of their actions.
You could argue that he is then having a different perspective or opportunity for perspective because he's not in jail, and therefore he could see things differently, whereas the guys in jail are like, oh, next time I won't get caught, or my next score will be bigger, or whatever. And he's like, whoa, you guys, like, I'm realizing I miss you guys. You're my friends. You are what I care about, and we have to stop doing this because it's hurting us.
From what I've been able to recognize about the clips she's showing, that is, I believe that is the angle that the movie's going for. I believe. And
he meets the girl, and she teaches him.
Yeah, it seems to follow that. You should just do good things. That's a Christianity message all the time. Just stop doing bad things and do the good things.
Yeah, a lot of the people in religion, they are very open and accepting of new people, and they don't care where you come from. They don't care what you've done, because they have this wonderful thing called confession. So, like
the Christians in real life are definitely a lot more open than mainstream media, like movies and shit.
They're certainly more psychologically accepting of forgiveness, and they will say, oh, just if you resolve yourself, if you feel like you have resolved yourself of your sins, you should be able to lead your life better, and you prove that by actually being a better person.
Yes, they even have the term where they consider you reborn.
Right.
When you go into this.
Exactly.
The priest in the confessional is not going to say, I order you to give away all your belongings and wander the earth. It's like, no, it's not going to happen. So.
I guess it just depends, like if you committed like a serious crime, I don't know what that would look like,
Yeah, of course.
It's usually left to the individual to go through the process of the redemption and the rebirth, so to speak.
Yeah. All right. Here's Galeota, or Galeota. In light of recent events with a certain virgin with rage, that Sonic doll on her bookshelf is making me uncomfortable.
What?
Oh, virgin with rage, yeah.
Okay.
God only knows what she does with that doll.
Surprised she even has one.
Well, which she, though? Maggie or the other one?
Either or.
All right.
Yes.
Here's
Maggie's definitely scarier.
Here's 0 for the 5. Thank you, sir. Of course, Maggie would have a problem with a movie about genuine forgiveness and redemption. Her cult doesn't allow for that. I thought the SJWs do want you to apologize and feel bad, and
which is funny because it's a protagonist who's black. So.
Oh.
Very interesting.
That's the weird thing about them. Like as soon as you're canceled, you're dead. Ed, in many respects, though, only if you're like a hardcore leftist and you make a mistake and maybe get briefly canceled, like Lindsay Ellis, you can come back from it, I guess. But mostly
well, it's because you're still a resource to them. They can still use you. As I think Wisp or somebody said.
Yeah, kind of like how she said, please, I'm sorry, Ari Movie Bob, you were behaving like a creep and everything, but I'm sorry that the Diet Nazis made it into a meme. Please leave this man alone.
Here's a donation I'm going to read because I don't understand it, but let's just go through it. Imagine being Maggie's boyfriend. Maggie, hey babe, how do I know if I'm Jewish? Hey, her boyfriend, will see you Jewish? Maggie, no. Her boyfriend, there you go, sport. I did not get that. I'm so sorry, but I did not understand what you wrote, Francis.
Yeah.
I guess it's basically
Too much of an atheist to understand that joke.
I think the idea is essentially he's describing it like he's finding his degree of Jewishness by conversation.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
I guess that's the only thing I could think of.
It's a hard one. Whenever you talk about Maggie being funny and trying to make a joke, I don't know.
Oh, that was a joke?
Don't ask. Anyway.
His actions. He's never encouraged or expected to make amends for his crimes.
Which crimes?
Yeah, can you tell us? Did he kill somebody? Did he rape somebody? Did he abduct someone's kid and like torture them for years?
The thing with
you can't expect the viewers to know this shit ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta give the context.
The thing with like black market goods like drugs or whatever, you're not actually doing anything hurtful. You're not harming anyone. It's the person abusing the drugs that are harming themselves. So if there's no violent crime, what is it? You're just selling illegal goods or goods that the state considers bad. That's it.
She's not even saying that. She's not saying, okay, if someone died of a drug overdose.
Right.
You know, well, if they wouldn't have those drugs if you weren't supplying it, right?
Yeah.
She's not even making that argument.
I'm not even sure that's going to be in the film.
So what happens in the movie?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. It's just it's showcased as a guy who's doing illegal activities. You're like, is he hurting anyone? Does he have a conscience about selling stuff that people want? I don't know. Maybe. Doesn't seem to bother him.
He wants to retire that life and then go be with a church girl.
Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, yeah.
No one ever suggests that he should pay back the huge piles of money that he earned through theft or drug trafficking or whatever.
No, not whatever, Maggie. You have to actually blame him for something and point to the film where he did something bad. People do illegal stuff all the time. They don't hurt anyone. So what does he have to feel bad for?
Yeah, if somebody steals something, like, I don't know, what's the consequence for that?
Drug trafficking is not like you're not taking drugs from someone else. You're just transporting them. Someone made the drugs. You are the guy. You're the in between guy. You're just the middleman. You take the drugs and you sell them. That's it. The act of selling drugs is illegal, yes, but you're not hurting anyone.
But you have to question too, like why did he do it? You know, does he need money? Because that's the only assumption I can make for why somebody does something. Right. They need money. Because she even says that his mother dies, so maybe he was paying for her medical bills. Oh, okay. Maybe. I don't know.
It's the whole premise of Breaking Bad.
It's just weird how she's getting. Oh yeah.
Well, in Breaking Bad,
he's a meth manufacturer.
Walt becomes evil, whereas in this story, there is a Walt already. He wants to stop being Walt.
Yeah, he's Black Walt.
You goddamn right.
Or I guess Gus Fring. I don't know.
Gus wants to leave.
I guess he's black.
Business, you're not wrong.
So instead of Heisenberg, he's Blacksenberg.
Blacksenberg? What?
Blaxportationberg.
Well, okay.
Let's go with that, actually. That's better than mine. That's way better than mine. Blaxploitationberg is so much better than mine. Original idea. That's great. Let's go with that.
Please
Somebody make a meme of that.
Stream with Blacksenberg. I'm calling it now.
Oh, dear.
At least one.
Walter Black.
Walter Black. That's good, too. Oh, boy. Walter finds Christianity. Isn't that great? Okay.
Ah, yes.
Interesting.
That's a symbol. But it's just weird that like Maggie seems to be a little emotional Like she's just getting more worked up every time she talks about this man and the crimes he committed.
She
or
gets
whatever.
easily
right?
excited over dumb shit. Like anyone who'd watch this film going, "That sucked. It was a bad movie." Like, yeah, you're right. She's like, "This is propaganda." It's like, it's a Christian film, Maggie. What the hell do you think it was supposed to
And
be?
a bad one at that too. Like
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at this movie. She's taking it serious.
This is
Oh my god!
yeah. This movie just
He
looks
committed crimes.
ridiculous.
He's getting away with it. There's no consequence for it. The movie
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, Christian movies are really usually in the low bar of quality. Speaking from experience.
That's being generous. Oh, that's being very generous. Most of them are just like Drek that makes TLJ look good by comparison, like Faith of Our Fathers or something like that.
I mean, I can admit it's like the God's Not Dead movies for me are a guilty pleasure, but I know they are way down there, and way low in terms of quality overall.
I mean, yeah, aren't they like Hallmark movies? Like you just kind of just
No.
watch it for.
They're basically Hallmark. They've got Hallmark movie budgets, but it's its own studio called Pureflix that makes their movies so cheap that you might as well sell oxygen. They're that cheap.
Yeah, the first one was really low. The second one was a little better because the issue was a bit more relatable, like the general issue of what actually happens, but still, yeah. And I know nothing about the third one, so.
I just wonder if Maggie's projecting here.
A courtroom case. It was a courtroom case about Wasn't that the one with the courtroom case where Sabrina
the courtroom case to prove whether or not God is actually real.
Or at the very least,
that was the stupidest one of all of them.
I think like it's like the weirdest part is it's Sabrina the Teenage Witch is the actress playing the teacher who just like she's getting arrested. She's getting sued by the school board for just mentioning Christ after she was asked a question in a historical example about Christ, which would never happen.
Wait, she got arrested?
Yes.
I don't know if she's arrested. I don't know if she's
Or at least
I don't remember.
That's how stupid that third movie is.
I actually think that's the second movie. The third movie is about just this guy who is like unable to rebuild a church or something.
And that's the second one, I think.
Do you want to bet?
That's the. It's like, yeah, let's find out. It's like I remember the burning church, the church being burned down, being the second one. I'll double check.
No, that's the third one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys have memories of this.
I do, yes.
On my days in church camp, I've never seen any of these movies, so I couldn't tell you. Really.
You're right. The second movie is the court case.
I told you.
Literally, the first thing that came up on Google is the images of it. Yep. You're right. Moving on.
All right. Here is Great Scott. Off topic, but the Netflix show Ozark, one of their better shows, has a similar thread where some landowners who grows opium in their backyard smuggle it to sell using cut-out Bibles. Oh. Clever.
Cool.
Interesting. I'll have to watch that. It's in my list on Netflix.
Oh, it's pretty. Like the first episode's really good, but
What's
for
it called?
some reason
Ozark?
Ozark.
Okay. Oh. All right.
I know. I still have to get past the first episode. It's really good.
Here's Registered Flex Offender. This movie premise is the Christian Ussie got me acting up. Also, Maggie looks like the other mother from Coraline, but as a
God.
Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah, the other mother from Coraline. That's actually not wrong.
Coraline.
Yeah, that's actually very good.
Coraline's a beautiful story. In
it is a really good movie. Yes.
It's a story they made into a movie. Yeah, it's from Neil Gaiman.
Well, I'm talking about the movie specifically, it being really good.
Yeah. Oh dear, I never put two and two together before. I guess you're kind of right. Yeah, she looks kind of weird. Anyway, don't ruin my memories of Coraline, please. No. Anyway, Tyler Preston, $1.23. Cool. What's funny is that Maggie, a white woman, is demanding for a black man to go to jail for a crime that he barely was involved with. She's a firm follower of burn, loot, murder, who steals money and buys a mansion.
Oh, exactly.
BLM, fantastic. All right, that's enough jokes on Maggie. Let's keep going.
And I add a quick note here that I am not arguing in favor of the criminal justice system, which is horribly flawed and discriminates based on race, class, gender, and pretty much any other way you can look at it. Just locking people up.
Like you were.
Wow, Maggie.
What the fuck? What the fuck? You just don't generalize these kinds of things. It's not all of it. It's all of them.
What did she just do earlier in this video? What did she just do?
I don't know. I wasn't there for that.
She was saying that this guy has to go to jail for whatever. Because she doesn't. Yeah.
For his crimes.
Which she doesn't state.
No, it's just go to jail for his crimes. Yeah. Yeah.
Which crimes? Why? Yeah.
Drug trafficking bad. Yeah, sure. What kind of punishment? What should you give him in the justice system of Maggie? Like what is the right crime and punishment?
The justice crime and Maggie meant.
Yo, he should go to jail, but I'm not in favor of the criminal justice system. But he should go to jail. Like, these are two conflicting statements, Maggie. Which is it?
Anyway.
Answer. The problem with these movies is that they only reinforce our already broken criminal justice system. They want to break it even further, making it even more unfair for the average person, while making it even easier for rich Christian buttholes to cheat.
Wait.
Whoa.
This guy is not religious. How are you blaming
He got
the
religious,
church?
and then later, he wasn't religious to begin with. As far as we know, he doesn't get out of jail because he's Christian. He gets out of it because he's intelligent.
This is after the fact, Maggie. He does bad stuff, and then he discovers God or whatever. He's not religious and then doing bad things within the church.
Yeah, like he has a family. 3 years passes.
This is the opposite of what you're describing. I don't know how you screwed this up.
Maggie, here's how you can escape the law. If you stop doing bad things, they won't come after you anymore. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, plain and simple.
And what is he cheating at? What did he do?
He's playing the church, I guess.
How?
I don't know. She doesn't give examples. She just says that.
Doesn't make
we're
any
supposed to
sense.
believe her.
Doesn't make any sense.
Even if we watch the movie, it's like you need to explain in detail what exactly did he do. It's like you're giving this movie more credit than it probably deserves.
Anyway.
The closest thing that Miles experiences to any kind of punishment is when his mother suddenly dies, and then when his girlfriend Vanessa gets in a car crash off screen.
Vanessa's been in a car accident.
So he's afraid that she'll die. These events are portrayed as really painful for Miles.
God, you gotta
Of course
notice
they
it.
would be.
Notice how all the physical suffering actually happens to women, and this is pretty typical for even.
Oh my God, we get it. Feminism, women power, get it. Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
I don't know what to say.
It's like Joker has a. It's like TNT, TYT saying Joker has a problem with black women. I love how it's just this abject silence when I say those words.
I just. Oh my god, this is so bad already.
The women are in pain. Oh, it's such a classic trope in these Christian movies. You're like, really? Okay.
Characters in pain, yeah. It happens all the time to any character. Yes, women. Oh my god.
It's never the men. It's always the women. You're like, okay, the main character is a guy. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, if the main character was a woman, guys die all the time. I don't know.
You could make the argument that, you know, the male lead should have been in the car accident with her, but he didn't get hurt and she did. But then you could also argue then that's good for the story because then he would feel guilty that he was in the car driving or whatever, where she's the one who gets hurt. And he would get angry at God or whatever for stuff like that happening.
Yeah, or just like that's the plot or something.
Yeah, that's the plot of Forever Strong, where this guy is behaving like an idiot, and then he gets in a car accident with his girlfriend, and he goes through a fence while he's drunk, and she's just hung up in the fence because she flung into it. She has to go to the hospital, and he goes to state penitentiary, but he finds some meaning and purpose by doing by joining a rugby team.
Interesting.
I think. Yeah.
Really? Rugby?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Listen, we spend half our days waiting on the Lord and the other half waiting on our wives. Hey, don't tell her I said that to you, though.
I won't.
I literally hate my wife and all women on earth.
Wait a second.
That is not what he's saying at all.
How do you get that playful banter?
I wait on my
wait
woman.
upon my wife.
Therefore, I hate her. What? Have you ever been with a woman before,
waiting.
Maggie? They want to do everything at a mall, and we have to hold the luggage and the groceries and whatever. While they go.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, but he's just making a joke, though. Yeah, like women do this too. It's like, my guy's always sitting on his ass playing video game. You know, something disparaging like that, right?
Yeah, it goes both ways, no matter how you look at it.
Does that mean you hate your husband? You hate all guys?
Yeah, it's like
what is this?
In relationships, there's two different people who have different tastes that don't always line up with the exact same moment of the day. Like everyone likes video games or whatever, but no, she likes playing these games. I like playing those games. Like, yeah. Therefore, I hate my wife.
Yeah, it's like, and what's the problem?
Yeah, I mean, this just tells me she's never been in a relationship. Otherwise, she would understand this.
Yes.
She doesn't even understand, like, because earlier she just casually said that the protagonist, I forget his name, but he feels pain for his mother dying and his girlfriend being in an accident. It's like, why wouldn't that affect the protagonist?
It's like his conflict is more inner than it is physical. It's like, wow, what a concept.
Oh man, she doesn't understand human behavior, it seems like. But she's gonna tell us how it works.
Yeah, women are bad because
Christopher Nolan can get it.
Well, go ahead.
I'll go for it. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that he's just describing what he does in the church, and Maggie interprets that as I hate my wife because I'm waiting for her. If you're waiting for your wife, that means you don't hate her. That means you're waiting for her to do something so you can get on with whatever is going on.
Yeah.
You love her so much.
Going to say,
hater would mean that he would ditch her the first chance he gets.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a joke. You know, people make jokes. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know if you know this, Maggie.
Do you know how to funny?
Hate so much in this whole like woke SJW era. It's like comedy is what died out first. fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've seen lots of people joke like this. It's not. It's common. It's not uncommon.
It's normal. Unlike these yahoos.
All right.
I love my wife.
I was going to say
joke
like.
about her. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
I was just going to say, if Tenet can get away with just calling the main character protagonist and giving him absolutely no characterization, you're fine to just call him protagonist.
Oh yeah, I still have to watch that movie.
It's weird and it makes your head hurt, but it's interesting.
Oh, good.
All right, let's go.
Female characters in these movies aren't really given agency, and they're never given any motivation beyond, it's your job to help reform the male lead, or it's your job to carry his seed. This movie...
Maybe the story isn't about them, Maggie. And maybe that's the function of the female reproductive system. That's just how it works.
Yeah, they're not
they're
not the protagonist.
The real Miles Montego is this based off a real story and they just kind of race swapped the white guy for the black guy, or how does that even work?
Is that a white guy? He looks like a...
It looks Hispanic.
Yeah, a little Hispanic.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Hispanic or Cuban. I don't know.
Probably Hispanic.
Actually, yeah, he does look like Pitbull's slightly chubbier cousin.
But I guess to Maggie, it's a white dude, so white supremacy, right?
Sure.
Either way, it's the patriarchy.
It's the patriarchy supremacy of the white man.
It gives us an idea of what Molina sees as a just and fair system, where the person at the top, whether it's a pastor or gang leader or President of the United States of America, should never be questioned or suspected of any wrongdoing as long as they're outwardly Christian. Instead, everyone beneath them suffers for the sake of the crown.
As for me, man, what could I say? I guess God has a sense of humor, right?
Gee, boss, life outside prison sounds just swell. Miles does the crime and everyone else does the time.
P.S. You guys are gonna be uncles soon, so straighten up, cause I don't want my kid around no knuckleheads, you dig?
Ja Rule does the Fyre Festival crime, while the people of the Bahamas do the time.
The music was horrible, the service was gloomy.
But I'm in Love with a Church Girl isn't just a parable for criminals about how to hide their crimes behind a veil of evangelical Christianity. It is also a parable for law enforcement officers to teach them how to look the other way if a criminal happens to be...
Nope. What? I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Maggie.
So,
got arrested.
When does the criminal justice system say, "Hey, because you're religious, we're not going to put you in jail or prosecute you or
Okay, so I've been watching To Catch a Predator. Okay, there's guys going in there. They're pastors. There's Christian people, right? They go to jail. They don't say, "Oh, well, you're a Christian. Okay, off you go.
Yeah,
go live your life."
The legal system doesn't care. There's a law, and they abide by it, and that's that. That's how it works.
They will tase the man. All right, they've done it. People go to jail for any crime, any serious crime like this. Yes.
All right, here's Great Scott again. Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night I can feel my fifis and my menstruations, even my tears. The gender transition I've lost, the feminist we've lost to the feelsies, won't stop hurting. Maggie Mae Fish. Oh my god.
Again, by the time the fucker got arrested, he wasn't religious yet.
He found religion in prison / in the cooch.
Yes, yes. You're not wrong.
I was gonna ask, isn't there like Christian movies that star women?
Yes.
Few, yeah.
Yeah, like War Room.
The one that comes to mind for me is Joyful Noise.
It's what?
War Room. War Room. He's got War Room, and then I said Joyful Noise.
Yeah, War Room, basically, the premise of War Room is essentially this black lady who's played by a motivational speaker, not an actress. Like, wish I were kidding about that. And she's terrible. She's really bad. Her husband is a cheating scumbag. And she reforms him through the power of prayer because God gives him food poisoning while he's out cheating on her. No joke, real movie. And this is not an exploitation movie or parody. This actually happens. This is meant to be serious.
Happens, yes. I've seen the movie. That actually happens.
That's promoting men hate, right?
Yeah, and also God is almost never that direct.
Yeah, and also, well, at the end, he reforms himself and quits his cheating ways, and even washes his wife's smelly feet.
What?
Yeah, it's a consistent joke throughout the movie that her feet smell.
Yes.
And at the end, he washes her feet while wearing a COVID mask because apparently it smells really bad. And then he
that is literally the ending of the movie. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna have to watch this movie.
The ending is the jump rope contest where they get second place. He and his daughter get second place.
Oh no, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Maggie, there's more Christian films out there. Why don't you go out there and explore?
This is kind of like, you know how Red Letter Media looks at bad films and just makes fun of them because they're bad? This is Maggie looking at a film and in her deluded world going, well, this isn't feminist enough. Here's obviously a male power fantasy. Here's the patriarchy at work. Here's a bunch of fascists. It's like, you are interpreting everything backwards.
And here's a Christian black dude that they let out of prison because he's black and Christian. It's like, no. Fucking no.
It's a strange take. I have to say, she has the strangest takes I've ever come across.
That is an understatement.
She is perpetually fascinating,
and
in the same way a train wreck is.
I'm curious why she's focusing on religious movies. It just seems like a waste of her talents to just do crazy.
Why would anybody really, honestly?
I was just about to say that. Why would anyone put any kind of thought like this into religious movies?
Yeah,
there's no point.
We're not talking about something high budget, really delves into like the human psyche, right? But we're talking about bad, low budget movies.
Like think of one of us watching one of those romance dramas from the Women's Network show, like just like pick any film or movie they make on that show or on that station. Like we'd be sitting there going like, this is boring. Who is this for? Why is everything so slow paced? You know, we have no idea of what like a soap opera is or melodrama is, right? We'd be like, this is like there's no action. We'd be complaining about stupid shit that we shouldn't bother with because we're brain is in another universe. It wouldn't make sense, but here she is doing the same thing with something she doesn't like.
Yeah, I could see someone making a video for comedic reasons. Like I think there's been some YouTubers have done that, but just for the purpose of comedy. Nobody sits there and analyzes like every shot of the film and comes to like some sort of conclusion of what the patriarchy is or something.
Or even that there is anything deeper than Christianity good.
Oh boy.
Christianity good, atheism
speaking as
bad.
Somebody who is speaking as somebody who is a firm LDS Christian, I'm still like, I'm able to like say, no, there's no deeper theme in this other than Christianity good.
Agreed.
Spider-Man 3, there was a church.
Get the fuck out of here with Spider-Man 3. That film sucks.
Eddie Brock prayed to God to kill Peter Parker.
To kill someone. Yeah, sure. That's how God works. He's the Godfather. Fuck you.
That's a Christian film.
I'm not even complaining about it as a Christian. I'm complaining about it as a general moviegoer. It's like even a normal person that's not religious can tell you that's not how God works. Eddie, get your head out of the gutter.
Well,
maybe he just doesn't understand.
I'll do it, but it'll
Maybe
cost you some Hail Marys.
Yes, exactly. He doesn't understand it. He's just that dumb.
All right.
A Christian. And the movie is
Fucking
not
hate
subtle
that
about
movie.
the lesson. Okay, it is time to discuss Stephen Baldwin, which is a phrase that I know no one wants to hear, but trust me, we'll get through this together. Stephen Baldwin plays a DEA officer who starts off hellbent on catching Miles.
This guy is the biggest drug trafficker in all of Northern California, which is exactly why we want to nail this guy.
Even as his chief criticizes his lack of progress.
You're working around the clock. Now, around the clock costs this office a lot of money.
Oh, that is Crease.
Put a price tag on justice.
I want a full progress and status report on my desk by the morning.
Yeah.
And I'll decide.
Isn't that the Cobra Kai sensei from Karate Kid?
Yeah, it's Crease.
You can take a nap
It's Crease?
later.
Oh, okay.
Baldwin himself emphasizes
But
how
goddamn.
money-obsessed Miles is.
This entire crew is considered to be armed and very, very dangerous. And they do not like anyone coming between them and their money.
But after Miles' mother dies, Baldwin and knockoff Jason Schwartzman here stake out the funeral. And Baldwin suddenly defends Miles, making excuses for him, saying that,
I just don't see the point in keeping an eye on him while he's here.
so what changed? Well, by this
because
point,
he's respectful
Miles
of
had started going
dead
to
guy.
church. He started going through the motions of being a Christian. Jason Schwartzman brings up the argument that Miles may just be faking it.
You don't get to be where a guy like that is and just flip it off. This guy's smarter than the average crook. This could all be a smokescreen.
And Baldwin's retort is to come out as Christian.
I'm sorry, but oh my god, that was such bad delivery.
Yeah, these are bad films. Everyone agrees. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
He doesn't know how to act
God,
serious.
Brian.
It's funny.
Do you go to church?
Yes, sir. Every week, wife and kids, Bible study, the whole 9 yards.
That's it. That's his entire justification for giving up on the investigation.
He didn't give up.
Giving up on the
Oh my
investigation.
God,
He's just giving this guy temporary leave to breathe and to grieve because he's not a monster.
He didn't give up the investigation. He's just admitting that he understands Miles's position in all this.
Yeah, I don't think he's in charge of making the investigation, right? He just has to follow through with it, right?
Yeah, he just has to follow through with it, pretty much.
So what I'm getting from this is Maggie legitimately does not understand how the legal system works or how criminal investigation works.
Well, it's possible the film isn't very detailed otherwise, but it's not supposed to be
It's not.
a message about...
She doesn't understand good writing. She doesn't understand bad writing.
It's not supposed to be Breaking Bad where everything like roughly makes where pretty much everything makes sense, I would say. And is like pretty procedural, and they're like doing their best to like make it as sensical as possible.
Yeah, I don't know what the investigation entails. Like, why are they investigating him? Well, drugs, right? So, what makes them a top priority? I guess.
All right.
He's the Eisenberg of this area.
Criminal who I've been hunting for years the benefit of the doubt. Later, in this interrogation scene where the IRS has concrete evidence against Miles, Baldwin is there to play devil's advocate.
Make me believe you, Miles.
Or rather, God's advocate.
I really want to believe you.
And it's Baldwin who now, for no clear reason, pronounces Miles' innocence.
I think he's clean, Chief.
And specifically ties that innocence to his church attendance.
Who knows? He just might be that choir boy after all.
Yeah, but clean of what? Like, we don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Also, choir boy is technically metaphorical, and from what I understand, of this dialogue, he's saying they've been distressing that he is actually turned his life around and gone to church, and now they're saying, oh, maybe he is a choir boy after all.
Yeah, they don't have evidence. Wow.
I mean, they're right. They just don't have the evidence.
Yeah, but the evidence of what? Like, what is being discussed?
I don't know. Why would Maggie bother to give those out?
It would be
You're
nice
supposed to believe her.
It would be nice to know what the hell the plot is here. But they're trying to catch this guy for something. It's for what? Drug trafficking. Did you catch him trafficking drugs? No. Then you can't do anything.
I don't know. I can't find anything else other than like this is just a guy who just stops doing bad things, and then 3 years pass. I guess now he's a pastor. That's all I know. That's all. I don't want to really watch this movie.
And also, there's also kind of the element of, like, how do we know that the IRS information on him is ironclad? Since he says he's pretty good at covering his tracks, so the implication there is this is mostly conjecture.
So how is he covering his tracks though?
Well, that's the implication, is that he's so good at it that no one knows where the money trail is or whatever, and that's how he didn't get caught in jail, or caught to go to jail rather. So that the focus is not him as a drug trafficker. The focus is him as a man getting away from that life. And reality says, well, we know you're a drug trafficker. We just can't prove it. And that's the police doing this role. Some of the police are in fact religious, and they see him redeeming himself or trying to redeem himself through, going out with this woman and learning about God or whatever. That's as simple as it is. And she's saying that, oh, no, the cops are literally giving up on the case, which happens a lot in criminal investigations because you observe, you stake out, you do all these things, and you find nothing new. There's no evidence. If you have no evidence, you cannot convict. Now the difference is because it's a Christian film.
There's thousands of other crimes too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's a Christian film, they throw in this angle of God is good and he's a better person now, and maybe he is a better person. I have no idea. I mean, it's whatever the film says. So if that's all they got, they see a guy attend a funeral, see a guy attend mass. He's like, yeah, I guess he seems like a good guy now. That doesn't absolve him of his crimes, but you can't pin him on any crime. Then there's nothing to do. And that's what the police chief was kind of like. You were wasting all his time and money. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, the cops can only work with so much. And like, I can understand if what this guy did was so inhumane that like you want him to go to jail. So like, I guess like Walter White, yeah, there was no evidence for him, but you want him to be in jail, right? But I don't know what this guy did. She still has not explained to me what he did.
I think, like, by the end, like, somebody released all the information out. That's why there was an international manhunt for Walter. Which is why but he just covered his tracks most of the way, and then finally he was outed at his wife told the cops everything in order to after he kidnapped his own daughter.
I just wonder, like, does she not believe in like redemption? I don't know. Maybe there's certain actions where you can never redeem yourself, but what is it that he did that was so bad that he can't redeem himself? I'm still waiting for that.
Agreed. I guess just he is a drug trafficker.
That's bad. Can't redeem.
We probably should just let him go.
I wish I could say that I'm editing this scene Project Veritas style to mislead you and make connections that are...
Where did this
crap.
Go from? So, I don't know much about Project Veritas, but they're those guys that do undercover investigations. They have like a GoPro or a hidden camera, and they just record it raw footage, and like they just, talking to the executives at CNN or whatever. But apparently, they're lying to the public. Okay.
Makes no sense, but let's go with it.
Yeah, Project Veritas is lying to the public, guys, in case you didn't know, all right?
Yeah, they're lying, but she believes in other systems, right? That don't lie? Okay.
All the video evidence is all doctored and fake and cherry-picked, apparently. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Really there. But no, I promise it's that blatant. The message to cops is, if a suspect displays the most basic outward appearance of being a Christian, you should shut down your entire investigation and let him get away with it. Miles's interrogation is brief and low tension.
Do you think cops are just watching these films?
I'm sure there are some person they refer to get some basic understanding of police procedure, but obviously it's not very accurate. So,
but she's making it seem like as if cops, or I guess people that watch these movies and then become into law enforcement. I don't know. This is a weird. That was a weird take. Again, cops don't care. They will arrest you if you commit a crime. Doesn't matter what religion you are.
If y'all gonna charge and arrest me with something, I suggest you go ahead and do it, so I can bail and go on with my day.
He provides no real defense, no justification for any of the suspicious transactions that he's been involved in.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not telling the cops anything. In fact, a lot of lawyers would say, keep your mouth shut till I get in the door. So I don't see how this is a bad thing. This is typical behavior you should do.
Yeah, they can't hold him. Because what's the jargon for that?
Well, I don't know the technical term, but they need to charge you with a crime. And if they can't charge you, they have no legal powers over you. They can't keep you against your will. They can bring you in for questioning, but that's about it. And you don't have to say anything. You're under no obligation to say a word.
No, if you're not under arrest, they
exactly.
can't keep you.
All right.
Nothing. After a timid questioning, the cops release Miles. And this affiliation between former criminals turned Christian and police isn't fictional. A retired San Jose police sergeant works security for Molina in real life. And like so many other Christian evangelical films, I'm in Love with a Church Girl received free support from local authorities. The IRS in Oakland lent the production official jackets. The San Jose Police Department lent them patrol cars. Giving these evangelical movies free civic and federal support is pretty unethical.
Why is it unethical?
Why? How?
If one organization asks another organization, "Hey, we're doing a film. Can we borrow some of your props, your stuff you're not using, your resources, and we'll give it back?" And they're like, "Sure." This happens a lot. It's called, when you do a film, you zone the permit for whatever street you get it off, and whatever these outside, like the street lights or whatever, like it's going to be part of the shot, so they'll use them. Well, they won't damage them, obviously. They won't take anything apart, or else they'll get charged for that. So who cares if some organization of any type, have some jackets to use, have some props, as long as you give them back.
This happens all the time. Are we really going to go into the ethical dilemma every time we make a movie?
What is the ethical dilemma of asking the city if we can use this area to shoot a film? And they say yes. This is weird. Like, bravo.
And she said something. She said something about it's not fictional anymore.
Yeah, but like so what? Like you talk to your government to help you out, and she's like, "That's bad." It's like, wait a second, Maggie, you're a leftist. The whole point of the government is to help people, is to provide a security net for people who can't make it. Here's a bunch of people trying to make a film, and they're asking for help, and you're against that. Why? It's the government, or it's a faction of the police are an arm of the government. The municipal
was it ethical for a bunch of protesters to burn down businesses? Was that ethical, Maggie?
Oh God, let's get into the ethics of Black Lives Matter or Antifa or God knows what, where they destroy public and private property. But the actual asking for help from the actual
Yeah.
organizations and them giving you help. That's unethical? So the police are unethical, you're trying to tell me, really?
That's what I'm talking about.
What
She's
is she
so
on?
deluded.
What is she on about? I have no idea.
She's on her
Some
weird ass
powerful
ideology
drug.
train.
Some powerful
Yeah.
drug.
Yeah, the leftist drug, whatever that is.
And shows a blatant disregard for the separation between church and state.
It's a film crew. It's not a literal church. What do you... This isn't the Pope asking, your whatever leader for stuff or tax rebates or whatever. It's a film crew with a budget and a deadline. It's like, can we please use this area? Can we please use this resource? They're going, sure. It's just going to be in the shot. We're not going to waste any gas. We're not going to ruin your clothes. We're just going to borrow it. It's like, yes. Happens a lot. Whether it's the police, whether it's a school, or some other bigger building. The only difference is the police didn't ask for money. And I guess she's offended because of that. I guess. But if they did ask for money, she'd be even more offended, right? She'd be like, oh, the cops are just stealing from, a bunch of people making a film.
Exactly. What the fuck?
This is getting dumb. It's unethical. Jeez, forget it.
Maggie, do you not understand how filmmaking works? Oh boy.
Anyway.
Quick answer, no.
That the message of I'm in love with a church girl is literally cops should let Christians get away with crimes.
No, it's not, Maggie.
You just said that. Okay, we got it, Maggie. You hate cops. You hate Christians. You want all the white people to die. We got it.
We don't even have to watch the film to know that that's not the message.
The message is about a man, no matter how vile, can redeem himself. And that is a beautiful theme and is deserving of the highest praise, just like TLJ.
Yeah, black man equal to anybody else, right? Oh, but that's bad, Maggie. That's apparently bad. It's just weird to have this weird view, but then to be on a certain side of it. Like, it's just hypocrisy at its finest.
She's just going to take the side that allows her to take a jab at the thing she doesn't like. And in this case, I think the religious element is on a higher rung than the police element. So.
Oh yeah, because all priests are pedophiles or something.
Something like that, yeah. Although she does manage to get a jab at the police because they're helping them, so kind of a double win for her, I guess. I don't know. This is a silly...
I just like how she doesn't, like, when it goes against her views, she doesn't fixate on the race. But when it does align with her views, then she fixates on the race.
Yeah.
It's just very... it's a detail I've noticed.
I'm surprised she hasn't said a race favoritism because, the main character's black or whatever.
Well, she would only say that if it was a white man and it was a bunch of black cops, that she would say...
yeah. But no, in this case, she's seen his character. Wow. Quite a leap.
Makes it extra gross. The sad thing is, examples of Christian evangelicals engaging in criminal behavior, especially money laundering and embezzlement, is not an exception.
Okay, so we're not going to give a bunch of historical examples of all kinds of parishes and churches that are, make crazy amounts of money, and they pastors and all this stuff. Like that's known. We know there's some corruption here and there. We get it.
It's actually a pretty common occurrence. This connection is even alluded to in I'm in Love with the Church Girl, in a scene where Ja Rule dumps a wad of cash into the collection plate, and Vanessa pokes fun at him.
How much are you giving?
Not that much. That's not enough?
Babe, that's plenty. I'll explain how this whole offering thing goes later.
This scene
Haha, it's funny. Haha.
This is pocket change to him since he's rich.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He's a fish out of water. What? And she's going to comment at this? Of course she's going to comment. Okay.
It's pretty vague and weird, but what I want to point out is that she mocks him for being too charitable.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Usually you toss like a couple $2 to $5 in, maybe 50 if you're generous. But it looked like he threw in a wad of like 50, probably like 20s in there. So he put like $100 in that plate.
I'm just I'm missing what point she's making. I don't know. Money's bad.
So because he's giving to the church, let's just hear what she has to say. I'm lost too.
Yeah.
I think that what she's saying is that she was mocking him for being too generous, like his girlfriend was, and saying, "Baby, that's plenty. I'll explain later how it works," or something along those lines. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently said that
Giving is bad. Because in this evangelical world, it is not about giving money. It's about making money and taking money. This movie sneers at the concept of...
So wait a second. He just gives a bunch of money and you're saying this isn't good because the story is not about that? Even though it has it in it. What?
What?
I guess the idea is, let me try and translate stupid. Basically the idea is that she dislikes the fact that like it's making Christianity about like making money because he's giving money into the collection plate and that's what like churches are all about or something.
How?
No. Just no.
How though?
No reason.
So apparently a collection plate is not charity? I don't know.
I've lost the plot.
What is she talking about? You see a bunch of people give charity at a collection plate. This movie sneers at the concept of actual charity. It's like, what? What do you think they're doing?
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I thought you hate church people, but they should deserve charity. I don't.
Let's imagine he gave it like $100 to some bum off the street. This movie sneers at the concept of actual charity. It's like, Maggie, what do you want him to do?
I don't. Like the drug tap.
This is like,
oh my god.
This is like Donald Trump can never do anything good. Like everything he does is bad, even when he gives to charity. As if Donald Trump actually gives to charity, even though he just gave it to charity today. He's clearly doing it for tax purposes or some bullshit. You're like, okay, yeah, possibly. Or you could see the positive side of things, and a bunch of organizations just got a bunch of money so they can help people. You know, anything that this guy does is bad. It doesn't matter what.
It's almost like, those charities aren't as good as our charities. Think about it.
The give to LGBTQ MNOP group people. If only it was that church or this group or that person they were dealing with. It's like,
well, I just wonder if he had donated to that, would it have been as bad?
Yeah, apparently Christians are bad. So giving to charity, which happens to be giving to a church, is bad inherently for some reason.
Of actual charity. Moments before that, when Miles and Vanessa enter the church, they're greeted by an usher.
Hey, I'll seat you with your parents. Follow me.
And Miles asks if he should tip.
Am I supposed to tip this guy?
No, babe, he doesn't get paid. He's a greeter. This is his way of serving the Lord.
So within the scene, they're communicating that there are those who are expected to give their labor and money willingly, like the dopey usher guy.
Wait.
That's a volunteer position, usually. Or there just says,
yes.
Hey, could you do this as a thing of service 1 day a week? come in, please just be a little bit early, greet people for like an hour out of the week. That's negligible.
It's left to the individual.
She is insulting people who work at churches, essentially.
Yep.
Like, there's so many people at churches, not just Christian or whatever, just churches in general, that want to help. They don't know what to do. They just want to help. And they need direction to do so. And sometimes you're an usher. Sometimes you're a choir boy. Sometimes you're a window washer. It doesn't really matter. You just want to help people.
Yes. Or maybe you're there under court order.
There's lots of reasons. Either way, you are giving your time for the sake of doing a service for others. That's part of charity. That's what churches do. There's lots of services a church performs in the community that's not like written down in stone. Whatever the problem is, they'll try and solve it. And that's not just Christian churches. This is churches all over, or religions in general.
That's just humanitarianism in general.
I would say, yeah, it's more of a fundamental thing. And she's laughing at this dope who's in a suit, and that's
bad, right?
He's an usher. Like, ushers are bad. Why are ushers bad? If you don't know where to go, and you're a guy like this who doesn't know what the hell's happening, ushers would be kind of helpful. Where do I sit? Oh,
that's what I hate about these fucking ass backwards thinking yahoos, that they can't comprehend the simple, fundamental aspect of humanity of just wanting to do good because it's the right thing to do. Like the Superman mentality, just doing what's good because it's right. They can't get that.
Well, actually, it's worse.
They can't get that through their thick skulls. That's what I hate about it.
It's actually worse. I think they actually like semi-understand it, but their understanding is warped.
They think it's evil.
Yeah, they think it's for some ulterior. It's basically what Snyder did with Man of Steel. I know we're beating a dead horse, but that's basically part of the argument here. It's like that people like Snyder and Maggie and others, it's like they just don't get that simply doing good because it's good.
It's kind of
it's funny because Maggie did a video on Snyder, right?
Oh god.
All the irony.
Well, it's one thing to be agnostic or an atheist. It's another thing to be snideful or hateful of the thing you disagree with, and that's what she's doing.
I wonder what she would think of me as a dude who went to 2 years preaching in Kansas on an evangelical mission.
Or women that do this.
Oh yeah, there are actually like sister missionaries, LDS sister missionaries, baptized more than the elders on average.
Yeah,
it's kind of insane. Like they convert more people than we do.
Yeah,
they do. It's kind of crazy.
Anyway.
And there are the chosen few, like Vanessa, Miles, and the pastor, who are not expected to give, but rather they're free to take what they want without any consequence. If you saw my video about Christian makeup YouTuber Jaclyn Hill, you're at least a little bit familiar with the way that religious nonprofits are able to hide...
Wait, she attacked a girl putting on makeup on YouTube. Really?
No, I think that was one of her makeup things where I think that was... She was putting on makeup while discussing a Christian YouTuber / Christian, nonprofit group.
Good God.
That's what I'm saying from that. Like, you remember how there was, that introduction where she talks about the Day of the Dead, and she's just putting on makeup, and that utterly broke Shiny?
Really? That's funny.
Oh, yeah, I think that was the second video. I think the second video that we watched was Padme and Anakin and Obi-Wan love triangle, where Obi-Wan cucks Anakin and Luke is his son as opposed to Vader's, and that makes the story better or something.
What kind of late 2000s YouTube poop shit are you talking about?
That was amazing. No, that was an amazing video.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It was amazing. Especially Shiny saying, "Dunn, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna murder you."
Dang. I want to see that now. I want to
That
see
was
Shiny's
like
breakdown.
headcanon up the. It was so hard headcanon. You're like, oh my god. Maggie, are you okay?
Fuck.
Dunn. So wait, Dunn. Who are you still alive or are you dead? Are we talking to your spirit?
I think I just evaded Shiny because Shiny is a punt.
Yes.
That's funny.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Money from public money and facilitate money laundering. David B. Barrett, who collected data on churches, noticed a significant increase in embezzlement fraud during the 1980s. Barrett's colleague, Todd M. Johnson, from the Center for the Study of Global Christianity, conducted a study called Status of Global Mission 2013 and found there is a line item for ecclesiastical crime, which is projected to be $37 billion worldwide.
In case you guys don't know what ecclesiastical crime is, it's the internal rules of a church. So not civil law, not criminal law, but the laws within the church itself. So they might even actually hire a lawyer for that, but it's all internal. So that means their own checks and balances, they discover fraud or whatever the rules are. So that could be anything. That could be like, stealing from the coffers. I don't actually know because there's so many rules I don't know. But it's not.
Think Maggie knows.
Yeah, it's not criminal law. It's not the actual law because this is within the church. So any church can make their own rules.
Yeah, she just sees crime and just assumes that's all crime.
Yeah, she should describe what the hell this is. You can't just there's a line item for ecclesiastical crime, like there's a whole category. Like, what does that mean? I have no idea. So.
Yeah, this would really help your viewers understand and fall in line with you. But of course, you're not going to do that.
It would be helpful.
So, yeah, there's always bad eggs in the bunch, and sometimes there are a lot of bad eggs in the bunch, but
I don't doubt it. No, I mean, I know there is corruption. Yeah.
Yeah, but we kind of just accept that whatever institution we're in, like, that it does something for us, or us that stands apart from what we just understand that it's just the bad apple, that the actual teachings aren't immoral. That's the thing.
Right.
I did find the video. It's actually 2016 was the Maggie Mae Fish's prequel video with crack.com.
The fuck?
Yeah.
The fuck? Hold on.
All right.
Please.
Or nearly 6% of the total $594 billion given to churches. In contrast, the total spent on mission work to introduce Christianity to more people throughout the world is $32 billion. So, literally, the evangelical churches that he studied stole more money than they spent on evangelizing. Johnson explains the ease with which religious nonprofits can get away with fraud. As much as 95% of fraud within churches goes undetected or unreported. This is compared to corporate fraud, where 66% of fraud goes unreported.
Wow, it seems like humanity, regardless of the organization, does bad stuff. That's fantastic, Maggie.
Also, corporations generally make more money than churches do.
This is like, hey, guess what? People are bad. Doesn't matter what organization you're a part of. It's like, yes, we know that, Maggie.
Yeah, fun fact, people are terrible. It's just that we try to make ourselves feel better by trying to do kind things. We're fundamentally bad people trying to be better than we actually are.
With a twist.
Yeah, it's just...
Now,
I know she's gonna... Well, I hope not, but...
anyone reading this would say, isn't that fascinating how organizations do bad stuff regardless of what they do? It's like, yes, thank you, Maggie.
It's almost as if they're human.
there's some other factor aside from the organization being bad. Yeah, there's some other variable there. She's not.
Well, let's look.
She's not putting two and two together, right?
Yep, exactly. But let's look at some of the organizations that she looks up to.
Wait. No, what she's going to say next is probably like religion bad, corporatism bad, or something like that.
Of course. It always comes back to capitalism, doesn't it?
Johnson
Because we need a better way to reform society. And capitalism is apparently not the answer.
To see the bad side of a
Better
nice
than the
pastor,
alternative.
a secretary, or a board member of the church. And Johnson relates a quote from one victim of embezzlement who defended the perpetrator by saying, "I know he stole my money, but I still think he's a wonderful person." Ugh. And just a reminder, churches, church affiliate groups, or religious groups of any kind
people aren't just one thing.
Exempt from reporting any kind of financial information to the IRS. That means that they can take in as much money as they want from whatever source they want, and there's no paper trail. So if you are, say, a money-grubbing drug dealer with a criminal past, then the best place to launder your money is through a church.
Yeah, but he's not doing that, Maggie.
He seems like he's actually reforming himself.
There's no element in the story of him using the church as a front or something.
Okay. Name those people, Maggie, in real life. Name those drug dealers that are laundering their money through the church. Name them. Go ahead. Give those examples.
This is the same argument she made before about he's going to be bad as a result of being good first, or he's already bad, and we say no. The story is about him redeeming himself. He was already bad, and he discovers a woman, and then he discovers religion. Not the other way around.
Indeed.
They never
do this, but
talk about
I don't like
his past.
Using a movie for the real, like, this is a movie. You know, I've seen the same thing with like Nightcrawler. Psychopath gets into the news media, right? He makes a living now.
Yeah.
He's able to.
Yeah.
He understands the business of it all.
Yeah, he's able to work the system really well especially because he does a lot of research. Like, he's just not automatically good at it. He kind of screws up a few times, and then like does a lot of research in order to try and figure out, okay, how do I like work this to my advantage? I think it's Jake Gyllenhaal's best performance, since that's not Jake Gyllenhaal. That's a sociopathic creep who freaked the crap out of multiple people for 2.5 hours.
Is he a sociopath? I always get it confused.
Yeah, he's clearly a sociopathic. He's not emotional. Psychopaths generally are fairly emotional.
I get it wrong all the time.
And any law enforcement officer would know this. Which is why, in the world of I'm in love with a church girl, the cops turn a blind eye to the Christian crime. It's identity politics in its most blatant form.
Wait.
What?
What is identity politics? What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Identity politics.
I'm trying to see how she went to that conclusion.
Well, we know identity politics because we always hear about the sexuality of this or that person, this or that race. I mean, that's usually what people say. I'm a Eskimo bisexual plant or whatever, some bullshit like that. Like, that's the stuff we laugh at. And she's saying, no. This is the prime example. This is the
church degradation.
The frickin' genre of Christian movies. This is the prime example of identity politics. No, Maggie, I'm sorry. That's not where we hear it most of the time. We hear it in mainstream media. We hear it on Twitter. We hear it all over the place online. I've never heard of it.
Fucking nut job.
In a movie that is so niche, no one has heard of these things.
Well, I can already assume she's going to start attacking all Christians, right? Because every Christian is a piece of shit because they're not loving and acceptable for, you being a gay person, or you being, this color or that gender. I don't know, something stupid. That's not how it works. Okay, not every Christian is a psycho. All right.
Yes, there are bad people in every group. Doesn't matter which group that is. So.
Exactly.
All right, let's. I'm just reading the subtitle. I'm like, oh god, the pause it again.
I'm a Christian, therefore I cannot be guilty. In fact,
No.
That's not. I don't think
How
that's
it
what it
works.
means.
That's not how it works. There are multiple people who are Christians in prison, or who have gone to prison, even though they are Christian. That's just an objective fact.
But is she?
It
seems like she's talking about the mentality of every Christian. Is that what she's saying, or is she just saying from an outside perspective?
This is
just go with the worst possible interpretation, and we will be right.
All right.
I am a therefore I am the hero, actually. And that
The hero of what? What? Okay, what does this character do that makes him heroic? He wants a better life. Yeah. Well, no, he wants a better life, right? So he's changing his ways.
Yeah.
You could call that heroic, but that's not. He's not really. He's not really losing it so much as he's just changing his lifestyle. He's already made his money. He's like, we can't live this way anymore. I want to have a kid with this woman. I want my friends in prison to be uncles and to be respectful. We got to change our ways. I would say he's gaining more perspective, and maybe he's losing his lifestyle, but that's like saying I'm losing this disease I have in my life, this bad stuff I've been doing. I'm no longer doing that. I'm no longer taking drugs. I'm no longer doing alcohol or whatever. Pick one that's a vice. Is that heroic? Kinda. If you have a problem with it. If you don't have a problem, then no, it's not heroic. You just don't want to do that stuff anymore. You deem bad. You see, this would really help when
You could say it's inspiring, right? To other people, maybe.
That could be the lesson of the movie, and therefore, that's what we should take from it. Sure, but it's
not necessarily heroic, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's heroic.
That's just baseline character growth.
Here is Great Scott. Thank you, sir. By no means am I an expert on this topic, but wouldn't it be smarter to want to launder money via an actual business when you're this rich in dirty money? I made the joke, but it seems she actually believes that's what churches actually do. There has been tax-exempt status for churches for I don't know how long. And people look at that going, oh, that's kind of horrible. That organizations that allow people freedom of expression, like religion, are exempt from tax, at least in the States. So people are always questioning that, like, why is that the case? Why can't other organizations do that? What makes you a charity? What makes you a religion in order to get this exemption? Which is a fine argument. I'm not an expert at these things. So I'm sure there's an argument for and against. As bad things. They see these as bad things. Because, from the leftist leaning, you're not giving your money to the state. And there's all these taxable opportunities that could be used for social programs or whatever. When in fact, the actual social programs are the church itself. I'm not saying churches are perfect, but a lot of community members back in the day would get help from churches, from priests, from community groups, from organizations and people in there. So a lot of the things that these people want the government to do, the churches are already doing. And they survive.
Mm-hmm.
They survive. I don't think they would have survived nowadays if it wasn't for that tax exemption status, because not too many people are going to church these days, or the past decade rather. So
nope,
kind of hard to stay afloat. Anyway,
melding of church and state is exactly what politicians like Mike Pence are trying to achieve in real life.
No.
Mike Pence.
Wait, what? Where did that come from?
I don't think the vice president at the time was trying to blur the lines between whatever church he was a part of and whatever state he was a part of. So.
What?
That's crazy.
And it wouldn't happen, even if he wanted that. If he openly stated that, it would never happen. So. It's
what
like,
is she talking about?
Yeah,
though?
I don't even know how we got to this topic.
What?
Why did money laundering and drugs and a man seeking redemption turn into church and state rules? I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, how do we go from black man to Mike Pence? How
Well,
do we
first it
go
was
from that?
first it was identity politics. We're like, what the hell? I don't know how that became an issue, but she
This
brought
is-
it. Yeah.
Oh, this is as bad as like the Renegade Cut video.
I would say this is worse. This is
Yes.
pretty.
Yes, this is way worse than Renegade Cut.
They're both horrible. She's just horrible in a different level.
No, not horrible. They're both stupid.
Well, I don't know. We haven't finished this video. Let's see.
For example, here's a list of cases the Trump Department of Justice has supported.
No, I don't care.
Okay, Orange
Christian
Man
students
bad.
are
Got it.
forced Maine to pay tuition for attendance at a private religious school. A Christian student who complained that a Georgia college was too restrictive on where he could evangelize on college property. And a Christian student group challenging the University of Iowa's discipline for alleged discrimination against a gay student. This list runs the whole gamut of Christian legal abuses, from using taxpayer dollars to further enrich already wealthy Christian institutions, to forcing people on public property to list.
Sounds like it has nothing to do with money, Maggie. It has to do with freedom. Where I can exercise their First Amendment rights. It sounds like public property.
I could make the argument that you are violating free speech rights by spouting stupidity, but I can't.
I mean, this happens a lot on university campuses because there's all kinds of organizations which represent other religions and countries that want to profess their faith or just have a meeting. And they take up rooms, they take up public rooms, they take up all kinds of spaces. So yeah, they feel marginalized sometimes. They don't get the access that other groups do. And this was like my first day at university. I was like walking through the commons and you're like, all these rooms are packed full of random groups. I don't know who they are. Because they're looking for like, freshies, fresh people to join. And
fresh meat.
Yeah, for the new recruits, for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no idea what they are, what they're for. Like there's travel organizations, the military's around for signing up. There's all kinds of groups outside of the university. The ones that are inside the university, they have more authority, I think, to organize stuff, like the student body, the council. So yeah, it's a lot of give and take. We want to do this. We want to set up that shop. We want a kiosk. We want to rent out a lecture hall. All kinds of crap. It's pretty normal stuff.
To evangelizing, to making it okay for Christians to discriminate against LGBT people because it's my faith.
Prove it.
And
Prove
of course,
it. Honestly, prove that statement.
Prove it. Yeah. Admittedly, like a lot of Christians believe that homosexuality is a sin, so I guess that could be it. But what's the discrimination? Not allowing them to have church offices? What's talking about here?
They won't let gay people in. That's homophobic. Even though the homosexual people don't want to go in anyway. I don't know. That seems to be sort of the train of thought from her. This is. It's not every Christian, right?
I wonder what her views on other religions and their opinions of the LGBT community.
Oh no, we're not going to get to that.
Yeah, I doubt it.
That doesn't matter.
Islam is good, guys. It's okay.
Always Christian.
There's all kinds of other religions that don't like those people either, but this is about Christianity.
Oh, communism good, right? But
were thinking
Dumb
Trump's
bitch.
Department of Justice would protect all religions as aggressively as it protects Christianity, I'd expect to find you behind a desk with a sign that says, "Debate me!" According to USA Today, while the Trump Justice Department has bent over backwards to protect the religious liberty of countless Christian organizations, its effort has been less charitable to non-Christians. When a Native American tribe raised religious objections to a South Dakota pipeline that would infringe on their sacred lands, the DOJ offered no support.
Okay, we're talking about a whole other category here. This is
false equivalence, the max.
This is... Okay, pipelines are a big deal in North America because that's just how they are. And we're talking about property rights, which are going through entire swaths of land, through states, through countries. So to compare what the Justice Department has to say about the freedoms of religion or religious organizations on a campus is a little bit different. By little, I mean a massive quantity when you're talking about pipelines. There is a whole section of law dedicated to talking about and arguing about pipelines, believe it or not. Because I have a relative who works in Alberta, and that is their job. They're retiring soon, but they've been doing that for so long. So it's a big, big deal. And you do not want to get into these arguments or legal battles because they take decades to go through.
Exactly.
And
but I also find it very odd that she would use this point of, so like it says, when a Native American tribe raised religious objections to the pipeline, right?
There's all kinds of objections. Everyone has an objection. When you're talking,
but she seems to be aligned with the Native American religion. I mean, doesn't that exclude gay people too?
That is like one of 1,000 objections whenever a pipeline goes down about why they can't do it. Because you're talking about property rights. As soon as you talk about property rights, it's an ownership issue. It's not about specifically religious issues. Like those are factors. But a lawyer has to go through all of these. And if it's just a bunch of people complaining that, you're ruining the land, it's like, well, we're following the law. We're not destroying the natural resource. We're not like going through natural reservations. We're not like, there's all these rules you have to follow to even begin to suggest this.
I know. But she's trying to make it about religion for some reason, for her argument.
Well, I think whatever this quote is from whomever is doing so. But to compare these two is just worlds apart.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's odd. It's very...
Yeah. I just know about it because I'm invested in some energy sectors in Canada which connect to other companies in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you learn about these things in their briefs, and they ask you to vote on what to do. And like the Dakota Pipeline's a big thing right now. That just got resolved, I think, last week, or was it April? I can't remember when it was. But there's all this money in oil. There will be money in oil for decades. So there's a whole legal system surrounding. You could specialize in just becoming a legal lawyer or an oil lawyer or petroleum lawyer, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So anyway, great, Scott. Thank you for the donation. I knew about the tax exemption. It just seems counterintuitive to launder money and clean it via donations to churches, since you're not making money back off of it. This movie just seems to be her Christian strawman. I'm not sure what this movie is to her. She is jumping all over the place.
Well, yeah, we're talking about property rights.
Yeah, within 4 minutes. 4 minutes, we went from identity politics to tax exemption to religion. It's back and forth.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I
know it seems.
I think it stopped being about the movie. I think this is just now it's about the political agenda.
Yeah, no,
whatever.
yeah. This is the last half of her stuff is always about politics. And you're just like, all right, Sure thing, Maggie.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's like it's been 6,000 years since 2015, but does anyone else remember this? Donald Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what is going on. Yeah, when conservatives and evangelicals talk about...
I'm not seeing the problem. If a president wants to do that, he can do that. Well, that's in 2015, right? He has that authority.
16.
Yeah. So if he thinks there's a security problem, and there is, or there was, there probably still is. Yes.
Yeah, it's not like we're at war, but okay.
The border has always been an issue. It will always be an issue. So this is, again, we're talking about what is right or what is legal. It's like he has the moral authority, he has the legal authority. It's been one of his selling points when I don't remember all of his points because I don't get much information and I don't pay attention, but I do recall him talking about the border quite a lot. I think there was a whole slogan about the border. Everyone the world over heard about building a wall. So yeah, kind of a big deal. Part of his campaign there, Maggie.
I don't even think it had anything to do with the. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, I was just going to say, and because of the wall becoming more lax, our economy is suffering because Mexico and a lot of South American countries are riddled with problems, like legit dangerous problems where you could possibly get murdered in your sleep or just get randomly caught in a gunfight with between sicarios or whatever. And they're just flooding in, and we just don't have enough jobs to support them, and it's just we just don't have the infrastructure necessary to support all of these new people coming in illegally.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Religious freedom, what they mean is Christians should have the freedom to take away other people's freedoms.
Which Christian?
Wait, what?
Which Christian is taking away the freedoms of other people? This is the first I've heard of this. I have no idea.
Maggie, there's a difference between a regular Christian and an extremist.
Is some priest or pastor holding people in their basement or something? What's going on here? What's the problem?
It's still against the law. What the hell are you talking about, Maggie?
I'm lost. I can't say anything.
The hell are you smoking, bitch?
She's trying to... This is what I mean. She's trying to judge all Christians as bad. They're all bad white men trying to kill everybody that's in their line of sight that doesn't agree with them, right?
I don't know. I'm. Can you imagine a pastor no one leaves the church today? What? We're all here
until the service is over.
That would make a great horror film.
Yeah.
You cannot leave.
You must
psychological torture.
You must listen to my speech for the next 3 hours.
So basically, Get Out with Christianity. Or something, I don't know.
I will now read the parable of whatever for the next 2 minutes, and then we will serve communion wafers for the next 4 hours. I'm not sure. What a priest do to terrorize you? I have no idea.
Yeah, all those criminals.
It's end the service is way after it's supposed to end. End service is late. I don't know.
I have no idea. Here's Great Scott. Oh wow, she transitioned so quick in time. I was typing, but she's taking the quote from CNN, and we know their bias, who we all know works for the Lolly Lulelo.
Yes, the CNN really misconstrues a lot of what everybody says.
Yeah, well.
They have a narrative. Remember, their news footage was mostly peaceful protests when there was fire going on the background. And everything was burning to rubble.
This is okay. Everything's great.
Yeah,
The
it's all
world
fine.
burn. All burned down. At least we get a fireworks show.
So yeah, Christians constantly taking over the authority and freedoms of other people because of Trump or something. I don't know.
Right, and that's why BLM.
I don't even know what the hell she's saying.
Fight the power.
It's mostly
My
peaceful,
faith.
right?
After all we've talked about
Sure.
with I'm in love with the church girl, you might be asking yourself, if this is a Christian film, how did these Christian filmmakers take the teachings of Christ, who was relatively anti-materialist, anti-authority, and anti-cop?
Wait.
What?
Anti-cop?
When?
Anti-authority? How is he anti?
I don't think those things existed yet.
Do you not understand the line, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and render unto God that which is God's?
He seemed to be pretty
Clearly she
accepting
doesn't.
of the Romans. He was pretty nice with everyone, really.
Yes.
Kind of a nice guy in general.
I have a question. Did she used to be a Christian?
I'd be surprised.
There's
This
no
is so
way.
weird.
There's no way. She comes off as just a pretentious atheist hipster from get-go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and guess the Romans were the cops or something.
In a way,
I guess.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
But how are the Romans like if the equivalent to like cops now in the modern society?
There's lots of things the Romans did, but I don't know if they use their military force to be police. It's possible. I'm not that well versed.
Okay.
It's still not
Anti-materialist,
comparable though.
I can sort of guess because the guy can make food out of bricks. So I don't know.
Out of nothing.
Yeah, I don't think he had a desire for resources when he could make stuff out of thin air. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And so far around, they were able to use the same teachings to justify materialism, authority, and crooked cops.
What?
What?
Who's doing this?
Who's spoken to say this?
I don't know. What are we talking about? Is it?
She is now officially pulling out of her ass.
You're right. This is worse than Renegade Cut.
What is she?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the movie
God.
now? Or are we talking about Jesus? Like, what are we talking about? Did we miss something? Let me go back.
Probably.
Anti-authority and anti-cop, and twist things so far around.
Okay, we gotta go back even further.
She's so crazy right now. Like, look at her face. It's so.
All right,
so
let's start.
Crazy.
Here's the paragraph. Let's go. After all we've talked about with I'm in love with the church girl. Okay, so we're talking about the movie. Good.
All we've talked about with I'm in love with the church girl, you might be asking yourself, if this is a Christian film, how did these Christian filmmakers take the teachings of Christ, who was relatively anti-materialist, anti-authority, and anti-cop, and twist things so far around they were able to use the same teachings to justify materialism, authority, and crooked cops? It's pretty...
So she's saying the movie's doing that. How are the cops crooked? Because they
They're
can't
just doing their jobs.
They can't find evidence, therefore they're crooked? What?
What teachings though?
What is she on about?
That doesn't mean they're crooked. That just means they suck at their jobs.
Well, the story could just go a certain direction where the cops do a job and they don't have any results, right? So it's like, all right, it's a dead end. Nothing exciting happened. It's not an exciting movie, so you don't expect it to, I guess. But that doesn't make them crooked.
It's a dull, low-budget Christian exploitation movie. It has basically the budget of a trauma film.
Yeah. It's small.
But it's... I don't know. Maybe I'm just not understanding this, but it's just... She's making opposite arguments. Like, Christianity is good, but the film turns it around that it's bad.
I don't think so, because this is a story about a guy who doesn't want to do his bad lifestyle anymore because he wants a family. He wants his friends that are in jail to come out and fix themselves up too. Now, we would have to watch the film to see that message, but I'm quite sure that's what's happening. He's reading the Bible. He's trying to understand it. He's getting a wife through the process of knocking up his girlfriend or whatever. So whatever process.
Yeah, he's in love. He has a kid. He wants to be a father. Wow.
Yeah. So whether he gets married before or after, maybe they jumped the gun. I don't know. I'm sure the church is forgiving of love. So no, I don't think they're promoting embezzlement. No.
Hell no.
You could say it's promoting you to be a father and stop being a criminal.
Yeah, a bad person learning to become a good person, raising a family, and teaching his bad people friends to become better people. Like, that's what it looks like.
The horror.
And it could be doing it incompetently or stupidly or so contrived that it's like, this does not make any sense. But
yep, contrived, boring.
The movie doesn't even do that. They play it straight.
Oh.
I mean, look at the actors. Not the main protagonist, but some of the side characters. I mean, the acting is bad.
And also, you have a cheetah girl as the love interest. How good do you expect the acting to be?
Oh.
All right.
You're right. Fucking hell.
Standard rhetoric from these prosperity gospel folks. For example, a reporter from Inside Edition confronted prosperity gospel preacher Kenneth Copeland about the fact that he's been criticized for owning private jets, which seem to contradict Jesus' message. When she asked him about Jesus saying it's more difficult for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, he came back at her with this.
But he said, all things are possible with God.
Apparently,
yeah, but this guy,
God is so
that guy's a
powerful
fucking
that God
snake,
can
though.
even contradict God's own message. Every passage in the Bible, according to this way of thinking, means both what it says and also the opposite of what it says, depending on what serves his interest in the moment.
Wow, it's like it's interpretive.
Yeah, but that guy's a fucking snake, though. That's not the majority, though.
Oh, I agree. He looks like one too.
Yes.
If you're trying to justify a lavish lifestyle and you're religious, it's tough. Yeah, I agree. Religion is very, it's very universal. It's living a certain way and treating people with respect and proper forms of decorum. And when you have that sort of following, it's strange. It is like, wait a second, they're teaching you to be humble and this and that, and to give to charity, but he is the charity in that regard. So.
Yeah, but my conclusion wouldn't be every Catholic person is a piece of shit.
Exactly. No, she is just
you know what I mean?
She just jumped from fiction to reality. You're like, wait, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't, because this is what scares me sometimes, because if that's how you're going to look at it, you have to look at it from all aspects, and I don't want to do that. I want to look at what the person is doing.
There's all kinds.
What is it that they're doing is bad?
There's all kinds of examples of all these rich pastors, and it's like, fine, good for them. Are they helping people? I guess so. I think the average rate of donating to your church is 10% a year. So whatever you take in, 10% goes to your church. And I'm sure it's higher depending on the church, or lower. It could be Orthodox or more liberal. So whatever you're comfortable with your group at the time. I don't know. Some people don't even go to church. So yeah, there is a limit to some people who don't like that or don't like that ratio. But that's the
or they don't care. I don't know.
Yeah, some churches don't care. Some people are like, whatever you got. So that's how charity sometimes works.
be some way of the heart of what Jesus actually meant. So, let's dive into some history. In his book, Jesus of Nazareth, Paul Verhoeven, yes, director of RoboCops, Starship Troopers, and most importantly, Showgirls. Yes, that Paul Verhoeven. In his book, Jesus of Nazareth, which is a look at the historical Jesus.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know.
This is
because she wants to claim that she's literate.
There's no point.
This is
to this. Mm-hmm.
This is.
Oh wait,
really...
the director actually made this book?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Cool. I don't know.
Verhoeven describes how society was organized in Jesus' time. In Judea, the province in which Jerusalem is located, the law was laid down by a high court known as the Sanhedrin, which fell under the jurisdiction of the Roman prefect. There was no distinction between religion and politics in Jewish thought, so the Sanhedrin functioned simultaneously as a parliament, a theological arbiter, and a court of justice. The day-to-day control of the Jewish nation thus lay in the hands of a priestly aristocracy. Since the office of the high priest had remained within the same three families for generations, power was evidently concentrated in the hands of an elite. Gee, 3 families ruling politics for my entire life? I wonder what that would look like. So when Jesus says things like, "Blessed are the poor," or
wait a minute.
Hold on, what?
What's going on here? Is that a gun? What is that?
I think that
Looks
must
like
be
a,
Life of Brian
machine
or
gun.
something. Let's back up a little bit, because, like...
3 is ruling politics for my entire life? I wonder what that would look like. So when Jesus says things like, "Blessed are the poor," or when he smashes up the money changers table at the temple.
My temple should be a house of prayer.
These are all very...
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, okay. The movie.
Parody.
No, it's not a parody. It's a musical.
That's even worse.
Well,
Oh, okay.
it was interesting.
It's not actually Jesus, right? This is... I don't know. I'm confused.
It's-
This
it's
is a
the
weird.
musical
No,
version.
that is actually Jesus.
Yeah.
That's actually Jesus. That's meant to be Jesus.
It's
and the Herod song is the weirdest thing ever. It is so strange.
It's a Jesus musical.
Do they? I in the actual 70s version, they actually all stand naked at the end, but I don't know
Oh,
if they do that in the
God.
movie. Yeah.
I hope they don't.
Yeah, well, probably not.
specific messages, or even
God.
threats, to the corrupt rich men who held power in that society. And one quick last note, as much credit as we give Jesus as a reformer, he was just one of many, many radical Jewish prophets in his time. Jesus lived in a specific historical context, where religion and politics
Radical.
were one and the same. And he was like,
Really?
hey, what you rich guys in power are doing, that's bad. That's how Christianity started.
As a social justice movement.
Okay.
Don't you dare!
Holy hell!
That is something I did not expect to hear.
Wow. What is happening?
Okay, I legitimately take offense at that fucking comparison. First
Is
off,
she against
It's like-
religion or is she for? Like, what is going on?
I don't know. She was against it, now she's for it? What the fuck?
This is amazing. This kind of crazy is just something you never get. I did not expect to get like 3 hours of coverage out of this freaking video.
Has it been 3 hours?
Oh, wait,
my
wait, wait.
God.
No. Guys, we just started the 2-minute mark. There we go. Okay. That's why.
Well, that makes more sense.
Now it makes, yeah.
Say what you want, at least his stupidity is more consistent.
We can wrap our brain around the perceived idea that the last 2 minutes of every, well, not every Maggie Mae, but I think every video that we cover is the craziest.
I can tell.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jesus of Nazareth via Maggie Mae. Here we go.
A social justice movement. Then over the next 1,000 and some odd years, the Catholic Church rose to power in Europe and created a society where religion and politics were one and the same. So along came Martin Luther with his 95 Theses, like, hey, what you rich guys in power are doing, that's bad. And that's how the Protestant Reformation started, as a social justice movement.
I don't.
It's not
wow.
social. Could you
don't even
these religious rebirth? How could you call these religious events social justice? What the fuck is wrong with you?
This is really bad. Like, this is dumb and bad. I mean, she's summarizing hundreds of years of development, but okay. It's like,
just lumping it all together as social justice. Fuck you.
So wouldn't she be
That is a very
Christian?
complicated subject. That is an insanely complicated subject.
Would she be a Christian then? That's what's weird about it. So, like, what?
Should
the
say
LGBT
that again.
This is nuts. When we talk about history and theology, like, these are things that events that happened, and it's for historical examples. It's not for like interpretation when people interpret the Bible or the Torah or whatever. This is like, this actually happened. This is why it happened. No one I've ever heard who's said this. This is some sort of social movement. It's literally reformation. It's literally changing the way that we think how the religion should work. There's no, people weren't in pain, as far as I know. They were, the idea, one of the major ideas was you can't find absolution through money. You can't pay off a priest to find absolution from God. Those were one of the many reformations. So, I just.
That's because Maggie can't accept the truth. She has to, overthink everything that she does. Try to find all these connections. Try to see how it makes her look good.
She's projecting something which has no place, because that's all she sees.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, she only sees it through the lens of whatever Maggie Mae sees things as. So political, spin the dial, and that's that. So she has to fit it into her brain when she's doing a summary for something. I don't know why, but she has to do it that way. And she's saying, "Oh, this is a movement by one man. It's a social justice movement." It's like, no.
I cannot fucking believe that I finally heard someone say it. My God, go to hell, you fucking bitch.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah, that's I'm not even kidding. It's like fucking. I never thought I'd heavy, bitch. No, it's not. No, hold on. No. It's like I never in my entire life would ever think that I'd ever hear some moron call the legitimate historical religious reformations of history social justice movements. It's like, I never thought it'd be possible for someone to say it with a straight face.
Oh, it's possible.
It's like
with these yahoos, yeah, anything's possible with them.
It's like it's like that. That just came out of nowhere for me. It's like, how could you possibly call these social justice movements and not what they actually are? Religious reformations. Ugh.
I'm glad that Wisp wasn't on. He'd probably freak the hell out.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for now. Fucking hell.
Yeah. All right, we got.
Well, who wouldn't be? I mean, I even though it's to be expected, it still surprises me sometimes. Just all this craziness.
It boggles my mind that comparison was it could even remotely be said when there's no correlation whatsoever between the religious reformations of our history and the social justice movement of today. There's nothing there to compare.
To identity politics.
Yeah.
So the formation of Lutheranism, or the Church of Luther, is like, okay, yeah, that's fine, but it's not a political thing. It's purely religious.
It's strictly religious. A lot of these are.
Okay.
Especially Jesus.
And now some even.
Whoa! What the fuck?
Whoa! And then that fucker.
We just jumped so quickly.
Evangelical
look at this
Protestants
white
are
guy.
actively trying to create a
this useless
society where
motherfucker.
religion and politics are one and the same.
Where are you getting this? Who is saying this?
Wait. Religion is politics?
No, they're not, and they never fucking will be.
How?
So wait, if I'm dying from cancer, right, and I pray to Jesus, that's somehow political?
How did?
Apparently so.
Why is Mike Pence on the screen again? I missed that.
I don't know.
Why is he doing a barrel roll?
I don't know.
Barrel roll.
This is weird.
I think I need like a milkshake. I need something
insane.
like from my childhood to like calm me down as I'm just lost. Like what's happening?
A milkshake? What kind of milkshake?
Vanilla will do. The most basic thing I could.
Yes.
Just a vanilla, just milk and ice cream, and that's good. I'll be happy. Just calm me down. I am so lost. Like what is happening right now?
Religion and politics are one and the same. That's the point.
No.
They
never should be.
I just don't.
There's a little thing called freedom of religion and separation of church and state that's been a thing for a really long time now.
Is Mike Pence
centuries, believe it or not.
a theocrat? Like what's going on here? I don't know anything about Mike Pence, so I'm assuming that's what she's trying to say.
I don't know. It's so irrelevant,
in the
really.
White House. That's it.
Yeah, but even if he was
He just prays in the White House.
even if he was a theocrat, he has no authority to enact anything. No one does.
Let's just say that if for some reason Trump had been like assassinated, a la Lincoln and JFK, it's like Pence would have been so much worse as a president. That's all I can say.
Sure, but let's not kid ourselves that he had any authority to control the church. And
hell no.
Yeah, like I don't. Like,
or the government as a whole.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what is she getting at? Anyway, this is.
Didn't Obama did something similar
for religion?
I thought I heard a story about that, but I don't know. Maybe
I couldn't tell you. This is out of my knowledge, but why we are looking at a picture of Mike Pence, I just don't know. It went so.
She hates Mike Pence, which is funny.
Only in that he's a Christian. That's it. That's all that's relevant here.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Yeah. So if you're not a Christian, then you're good, but you're still a politician, so you're still bad. I don't know. I don't know how the game works anymore.
Anyway, let's.
But all I can say about Mike Pence is that he's bad at both. I'm sad. Yes.
Anyway.
Breaking bread and saying, "This is my body. Eat it in remembrance of me." Today, Jesus would probably say, "In remembrance of me, eat the rich."
You think he would say that, really?
Wow. The hell you on? No, seriously, the hell are you smoking to say nonsense like this?
Oh my! Fuck you, you stupid bitch! Oh my!
Okay, I'll fully admit that I'm probably taking it a bit too personally because I am religious, but it's like you can't deny that it's still completely fucking ridiculous.
Look, I'm an atheist. Well, I guess I'm considered one, but this is just bullshit coming out of her mouth.
She is taking.
Yeah, it's bullshit. No matter what, it's no matter what side of the aisle you're on, it's still completely fucking stupid.
She is taking one of the most religious icons in the Western world and turning it into her mouthpiece for her agenda. I have never seen that before.
Same. I've never seen that either. Yeah, this is all new for me.
And she's taking it on a social, a political, and now an economic level. I'm just sitting here going, Holy hell. What? Does she even know what she's saying? Like,
and none of this was to the level it's at now during the time of these figures. Not in the least.
Jesus is bad unless we use him, right?
This is like taking I don't know, I'm sure Wisp would tell me what this is, but it's like taking something that was popular and reinventing it in our own, like rebranding it to make it popular to whatever the campaign is. So in this case, the campaign is social justice or whatever bullshit. That's what's going on.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I think Wisp would catch on to that.
Yeah,
that's pretty spot on. Yeah.
Like this is,
I think she knows she's bullshitting because Maggie, look at your room. Come on. What are you getting at here? How many people sign up to your Patreon?
You are very, very wealthy, my lady. You are, well, actually, like, a woman. You are clearly exceptionally wealthy, and I just can't take you seriously.
Like, you imagine
at all.
she says this about the Buddha, or
if she said that, she would get so many Hindu people screaming at her.
Yeah, pick
she
any
would get
religion.
so many people screaming at her.
Like Muhammad, pick any of the pantheon of gods, like just anyone.
Kind of the thing is, Islam is part of the protected sphere of people because you don't want to be Islamophobic, even though like they have historically been jihad people who actively practice jihad. At least some of them have.
Yes.
So if you don't know the "eat the rich" sentence, that's one of those crazy terms in regards to solving the problem of this or that issue with the budget or the deficit or debt in general, which is mathematically impossible. Cannot solve the problems, especially of America, by liquidating the assets of the rich. They tried that in Russia. Wasn't so hot.
I was gonna say,
death.
boy, this is off topic, but there seems to be a bot in the chat.
Oh right, that happened before. Why is he still here?
I don't know.
All right.
Weird.
Yeah, no. Anyway.
Sorry about that. It was weird. It was popping up.
My mind is like, we've been hit by so many crazy ideas, and now in economic one, I'm just sitting there going, would Jesus actually say that? And I'm thinking, no, I don't think so.
What does Jesus usually say? It says, forgive your enemy, right? Or forgiveness.
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah, forgiveness.
Just kill the rich.
Yeah, the concept with the moneylenders at the temple was not because they were moneylenders. It was because they were at the temple. They were doing things on the church. Like, you shouldn't be doing
temple
that.
grounds, on holy ground. Yeah, it's more a matter of you have made my father's house a den of thieves. It's not that money lending is thievery. It's something else entirely.
And look at her face. She's being serious about this too.
Well, she obviously doesn't have high regard for other people's religions, or religion in general, I would imagine, except for Islam. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1 minute left. We're done, most of it, so we can go downstairs, get that milkshake, and add some rum to it, because why not?
Yeah.
If a company is running their business while committing crimes, I want them to be prosecuted.
So do I.
And if a church is running their business while committing crimes, I have faith that Jesus would want them to be prosecuted. Oh my God, this was executive produced by God. I guess I'm wrong. I guess he signed off on all of this, huh? Well, fuck me, I guess. Next time, I'll tackle an unfiltered Kirk Cameron film.
I love the music. I love the carols and the hymns. I love all the kids.
Oh, that one.
Saving Christmas. Produced by Liberty University. College by day, self-dealing real estate scheme by night. Thanks for watching. Big thanks to all of my patrons who help make it possible for me to make these videos.
Thanks to my
Especially God,
patrons, huh?
We're business partners. Head over to patreon.com/Maggie Mae Fish if you want to support. And check out Zora on his podcast, Dopetown 3000. Plus, you can see him in The Wedding Year, available on Amazon and iTunes.
Oh
like,
my
subscribe,
God, what a dumb
hit that
bitch.
bell thingy, and until next time.
And an even dumber video.
Save Martha.
Did you say save Martha? Yeah, you're so funny.
What the hell?
You're like one and the same with Snyder. Shut up, bitch.
Wow. Honestly, I think Zack Snyder might be... Well, okay, Zack Snyder's a 14-year-old trapped in an adult body. But this is worse.
She's the baby version.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what a video.
All right, here we go. Time for some stream memes, folks.
All right,
Finally.
When it's time to watch Maggie Mae, we're just chugging. We're just getting those drinks finished. Jesus, taking care of unfinished business. Open up, Judas. I'm back. When someone wants to watch the God's Not Dead series and ask me where I want to start, credits will do fine.
Oh boy.
That's good. Experience the #1 foreign language movie in America. Hitler's Not Dead. Wow.
Yes, he is. Shut up.
Christians talking to atheists in pure flicks movies. I'm perfect and you'll go to hell if you're not like me. Oh my god, no, you're Christian. That's so cringe. Christians talking to atheists in real life. We have differing beliefs, but I still respect yours. Thanks, bro. God loves you. Oh, boy.
The Chad, yes.
Yes. Yes. We are very nice to people. We don't hate you. We think that you're okay. As long as you don't commit actual crimes against humanity, we don't care.
Oh yes. And they're hot.
This is curious. I don't know who's playing or what.
Oh, there are a lot of beautiful Christian girls.
Yes.
There are
yes,
so many
there
beautiful.
are. They like to sin very much. This is
You have no idea.
With spanking.
I don't know what this is, but someone's fighting. Who would win? A bunch of bourgeois trust fund kids, or some rapper nobody's heard of in 10 years? What's happening? I don't know.
That's funny. Was that actor a rapper before?
Oh yeah. For sure.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Great Scott.
Another-
Bible Man, the animated adventures, Pureflix. Yeah, you're right. Bible Man. That's right.
The Adventures
that
of
was-
Bible Man.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
Bible Man will fight Thanos.
Wow. Jarul was on.
Too late.
Fox
Then
Business.
he will win.
Oh, is that him?
Bible Man
Wow.
will face Thanos.
Lord.
Ooh, I'm the bad guy. Jesus is anti-authority. Christ is watching. He's on the cross.
Yes,
of
literally.
binoculars.
Literally. I mean, well, it's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's just.
When it's funny, somebody in the chat said Jesus, I guess, is a communist.
How about that? Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up! Like, come on.
This was us from, I think, the last half of that video. We were just like, whoa, what the?
Pretty much.
I don't know. I can't comprehend that much stupidity.
Can you imagine listening to someone like this in public for more than 2 minutes and not walking away? Like, you're like, what the hell?
I would just
Maybe
be
there's-
contemplating, just like, what am I doing with my life to be listening to this
To this
person
fucking-
ramble on and on and not grab some hot dogs from the hot dog
Oh.
stand?
Oh god. Guys, go play New Vegas right now.
You can't expect God to do all the work yet.
It's not wrong. It's legitimately not wrong.
I mean, if he asks for your help, you damn well help that man.
Yeah.
Whatever he wants, you give it to that man. It was time for Thomas to leave. He had seen everything.
Thomas's propaganda.
How Maggie views the Romans.
Degenerates like you. Be alone.
I would imagine the Romans view everyone like that, so it's kind of obvious.
I guess.
Smudcast is suffering. I'm not going to watch that because I don't know what it is. I'll see you later. Jesus telling people to eat the rich colorized. For if you love
Fucking
only
hell.
those who love you.
Yeah. Where's the reward in that?
That is so impressive, I swear.
Damn, not that many stream rooms this time. What the fuck?
And here we go. This was us. I love this. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fantastic. This is Maggie Mae Fish. This is what we do. This is anyone who watches with a brain and turns their brain on and goes, "Wait a second, what did she just say?" Let's rewind that for a second. Make sure. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what she said. Okay.
It's just.
So what do you guys think was her overall points? Communism is just good, or?
She promoted her agenda. She doesn't like Christians, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
Wow, what a video. Good one, Dunn.
Yeah, no, that took a little longer than I thought because of 20 minutes. I thought, all right, I saw half of it. I was like, this is not horrible. It's just kind of dumb. I had fun. Was not expecting that.
And then we get into it.
Wow, that was some of the craziest shit. Comparing Jesus to anything is just crazy shit, man.
I honestly did not expect to become the wisp of this Smudcast, because that point was just, what the fuck are you on?
Yeah.
Subverted your expectations.
So
huh?
that
Well, sometimes I have heard my sister say, Jesus would say, "Eat the rich," but I didn't expect Maggie to say it. Well, she kind of says it, I think, as a joke.
Yeah.
She isn't totally serious. At least I don't
In
think
massive
she
air
is.
quotes, joke.
Yeah, there's no way she would understand the implications of that or why it's a foolish thing to say, because everything she was doing is very quick, a few fast cuts here and there, and then she just jump on the next section. So the jokes at Mike Pence as well as Trump, all these other silly references to pastors, and it's like, oh god, it was sad. Yes, the movies, these genres of films are silly. We all know that, and she's just interpreting it.
Silly is an understatement.
Yeah, but
these movies are very played out.
She is
at this point.
She is taking it in the strangest way, and you just go, Maggie, no, honey, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's given the movie more credit than it probably deserved.
Yeah. She's given the movie credit, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
she can't understand good writing. She can't understand bad writing. Like, it's just bad writing.
Yeah,
what more do you need,
guys? Take a breather. Call it a month of summer, and go relax. Iced tea, whatever you do to chill out. Beer, ice cream, whatever fits your taste. So thank you so much, guys. 31st? Yeah, tomorrow's the 31st. So not the end of the month yet. But that was another month of Smudcast as we had to round it off with a Maggie Mae Fish video. So thank you so much for your time. Keep the suggestions coming, because we're going back to the normal format tomorrow. And we'll take it easy. See ya.
Yeah, see ya.